which is a good place to start. So what we didn't, so obviously last time we just kind of like took some pre-gen characters and jumped straight into gameplay. What we'll do differently this time is like the proper Dungeon World experience. So before we start out, we will essentially like create the game world together, which will be introducing the characters, but also like establishing the lore of the world as well. So you don't have to come into this with the mindset that this is the Sword Coast or anything like that. This is obviously our own fresh world where we're going to tell this story. So whatever you guys want the world to be can be. So we're quite free on that, and we'll work together to build that world and then to kind of use that in the campaign. So I guess the best way to start in general is probably to character introductions. I guess we'll do character introductions and kind of go from there and build up like the world, if that works for everyone.
Yeah, that sounds great.
Nice. I guess the best way to determine who should go first would be to roll like a D5, which doesn't exist, right? But it does now. Nice. That makes you bang in the middle of this list, Edwin.
I don't know what you're about. I am not in the middle of this list. It's fine.
You are now, sir.
Oh, dear. Well, yes, I am Edwin. I am a bard, a human bard, with relatively fancy hairstyle, traveling clothes, and a knowing look about them. And I play a flute, which was a gift from a noble. And I am the best. Obviously.
Nice.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks.
So what instrument did you say you had?
A lute. A fine lute.
Fine lute. The finest.
It's a very
of lutes.
fancy looking thing. There's
Okay.
like a few things that I have. Like my hair is very nicely done. My instrument is very nice. The rest of my stuff, not so much. I've clearly focused on certain things.
Yeah.
But you know,
What are your shoes like?
oh, they are just like beaten up leather boots.
They always look at a man's shoes if you want to know judge his character.
You cannot fault a good pair of boots. If you buy a good pair of boots and they're good, even if they're falling apart, you keep wearing them.
Your bardic
Like the
lore.
voice.
What background did you choose to be?
I am an expert in the grand histories of the known world.
Okay.
Hmm.
Nice.
It's a big old history buff.
I guess I can put pressure on you immediately then. So if you are an
Oh.
expert on the grand histories of the world, give us a brief description of this setting then.
Don't do that. What? Just like roll off an entire setting off the top
Doesn't
of my
have to be-
head.
doesn't have to
Don't
be
do that
too-
to me.
It doesn't have to be like too perfect, and everyone can like definitely butt in and tell you if you're wrong.
That's a lot of pressure.
If it helps, I have the religion basically sorted, so don't worry about religion.
Yeah, you deal with the
that
religion.
bit.
That's fine. Our world this is in, I suppose. The world. I don't know really. That's a tough question. Grand histories of the known world.
Like what's if you're a human and you're an expert in the grand history, so like
Yeah.
is this a human dominated world, or do humans is this like a is this some
Humans form like a small portion of the world, like probably quite central, in like the grand like setting of the world in like a big, I don't know, like big city surrounding with like a country surrounding it that is like human mainly, and then everything else around it is non-human world that they haven't really either haven't gone out to or haven't been welcomed into because humans are obnoxious.
When you say non-human, are you talking tentacles or are you talking other
Other
races?
races.
Okay.
Well,
So like
I
humans
am
probably did not establish this world, I think. Humans
because
probably
I'm definitely
showed
not a
up.
human, by the way.
Yeah, like humans probably showed up after like showed up, I suppose, after other races, and just kind of plonked down in the middle and went, "This is where we go."
Mm.
So one interesting thing, look through the character sheets, and using that as well. We only have one non-human member in the party.
Oh, really?
Might be interesting, like Olaf.
Well, I very much have human.
Sorry.
I'm not really attached to being a dwarf. I was pretty.
No, I think it's more fun if you're a dwarf.
Yeah.
I can't be human now though, because I think it makes more sense to what about how about you said about the world is humans haven't necessarily gone out into it too much. Well, my background.
This is our dwarf. We found him. He's
No,
ours
no,
now.
no.
He
But
comes
my
back
background
with us.
kind of relies on there being like one religion that everyone follows.
That's
Okay.
absolutely fine, but
Despite I'm a human. I'll change. I'll just change it.
Cool.
I'm a human.
okay.
All,
That's it, I'm
all
ruining-
human
ruining
vanilla
things
party.
already. Ruining
Yeah.
things already.
So
yeah.
so there's like a large central city with like a surrounding country, but the rest of the world beyond that is kind of unexplored then.
The rest of the world, like humans, haven't got a foothold in so much.
Okay. So
Not
not
that, like, they haven't ever gone there. Or
not
anything,
unexplored,
They
but
don't have
not-
big cities that are human based. Yeah.
yeah, you haven't started the British Empire yet,
Yeah,
essentially.
basically. I haven't
Nice.
colonized the world. There's still
Okay.
time.
There's plenty of time, yes.
Is there time? I'm not sure there is.
Well,
So-
that's true.
With if this especially if this party is all human and there's not, you haven't gone out too much, are other races like part of the country? Would you see other races within the country, or I guess that's a
Probably
question
not.
for everyone, but
Yeah, probably not so much in like the central city, right? That's quite a long way into.
well, maybe
not
it
where they're
dilutes as
from.
you move further out, or
Yeah, I feel like there's probably not like a massive hard border, right? Of like, this is human land, you can't come in. It probably blends quite a lot on the outside edges.
Yeah. We're
Someone
talking
else
sort of
asked.
like maybe like Elizabethan England, in that like there are mostly English people, but there are occasionally people who aren't English in Elizabethan England. Like that sort of level of mingling.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no people other than humans here.
I'm
but-
not saying the Spanish are
Yeah.
dwarves. I just
I mean, you said
Yeah.
you've made the point now, so
cool, okie dokie. So I've got your information on your bardic lore. And what's I guess last I suppose last thing for Edwin, like what is Edwin's like is Edwin someone that looks for adventure, or does adventure find him? Like what's the reason Edwin might be involved in some kind of story?
Edwin has a bit of a like superiority complex in that he's always worried other people are writing better songs than him. So is kind of out searching for some kind of inspiration to write a better song than the song he heard at the tavern last week, because that was better than his, and that's not okay. So he needs to do something that he can write a song about that's better than that. So he's off. He's with these people that are going to do better things.
Nice, cool. Okie dokie. I guess, yeah, in that case then, if we go to Olaf. Victor.
Who's Olaf?
Exactly. Who is Olaf?
One thing I will need to say is I need a bit of help changing my racial benefit, unless you can happy with me leaving it as dwarf even though I'm a human. Just because I can't figure out how to change it easily. I get a wizard spell, but I'll sort that later on.
Yeah.
So, religion. So there's one, I guess, one prevailing religion in at least the human world. Actually, it makes much more sense if it's just human, to be honest. And the religion is kind of a monotheocratic religion. There is one central figure who is goes by many names: the Green Woman, Mother Nature, her sometimes, she, the Mother, who is the creator of all nature. She is the creator of the lands, the rivers, the seas, the weather, the plants, the wind, and she's the main central part of the religion, I suppose. If kind of typical religious festivals would be something like the Harvest Festival, a bit pagan in that respect, I suppose. The solstices, those sorts of things. If somebody was nervous, they might say, "Oh, the mother will guide you," or "She'll be watching you," and they kind of refer to this figure. But the creation myth has another step to it. She got bored after making the lands and decided that she wanted some company in the lands. And so she made a son. Um, and the son invented civilization. So the son invented sentient people, basically. The birds and the bees and the fish. I think they're probably still the kind of the domain of the mother, but certainly like humans in intelligent life form, not like life form which can communicate, I suppose. Are is the domain of the sun. The sun is known as Cedar Mier, which is sort of, I guess, a it's like a kind of bastardization of some ancient language. It means son of the mother, but it's I just put it in the chat how to spell it, but it's like a bastardization of that.
Was the reference purposeful there? Is that just
You
coincidental?
got it straight away. Yes. I wondered how long it would take. Funnily enough, so Olaf is a character, is the Viking, like one of the Viking characters in Civ 6. And Victor
Wondering
is
if that was
just
meant to be a Civ
Victoria.
reference or not.
He's the god of civilization, and it'll make more sense later on as well. Yes. So, but Sidemir is the kind of the sun, and the sun is in charge of civilization. Most people worship the mother, but I come from a sect of the same religion, but like a breakaway sect who worships the sun. And not only do I worship the sun, but we have some quite strange beliefs about the way that the world works. So we don't believe in free will. In fact, we are essentially a simulationist religion. So we believe that we are living in a simulation, a game that the sun is playing. That we believe that the mother made us, the world, as a game for the sun. So the sun is essentially playing our game, and we just are at his will entirely. So whilst I might go and do something, I might go and heal um, Edwin, and I might think that someone else might think that they've chosen to go and heal Edwin. I know that I didn't get a choice in that. I just had to do it. Sure, my brain said it's time to go heal Edwin, but that wasn't my decision. That was the decision of the son of Cedar who decided that that's what he wants to do with the game. And we are just pawns in his game, and we just exist at his will and not our will whatsoever. As a result, my holy symbol is a chess piece, or equivalent chess piece, which I have around my neck, which represents that we are always in a game. We are just merely players, and we have no will ourselves.
How's so the simulationist religion? How's that like viewed? Is that like a genuinely accepted belief across the entire nation, or
No,
is this?
no, it's not, but it's kind of fine. Like I say, we are one of a handful of kind of like smaller breakaway, not breakaway churches, but sort of like subsets of the main church who focus on the son rather than the mother. Usually, it's the mother. But it's kind of fine. The simulationist part of it, it's like certainly something that most people can't come to terms with, the fact that we don't have free will. Um, uh, but it's just like you're a bit strange rather than it kind of like you're a heretic and needs to be burned at the stake.
Okay.
Mm.
Okie dokie. With that in mind, then I guess as we have like a paladin as well, Maxwell, are you like a follower of the same like deity, like the son or the mother, or?
I'm guessing how I was going to make my character. Probably best I stick with the same as him, because I've done his lawful, deny mercy to criminals or non-believers.
Okay.
Oh, well, I'm still a believer. Like it's still the same religion, but it's
I know.
like
So I
yeah,
was saying I was going to be the same as you, and I was saying it could be, and that way I forcefully put the views out.
Okay, so yeah, so maybe there like might be a sort of your role is knocking on people's doors and forcing them to join up, essentially.
Yeah,
Have you
I've got, like,
have you
denied
heard
mercy
about our
to
Lord and
criminals who are
Saviour?
unbelievable. Yeah, because I go on for law, which it says deny mercy to a criminal unbelievers.
it does require you to like accept that you have no free will, which is
Paladin.
really the tough selling point of our religion. You are not a sentient creature.
You're just a tool.
Yeah.
Just a tool. If you don't believe me, I will force you to.
Okay, so you're a follower of this same religion then, or the same religion.
I'm like the enforcer for it.
The enforcer. I like that. Okay, that's quite cool. Tell us a bit about yourself in general.
Wow. I was going for he follows the god, which would be the sun, and he is a fully believer. He believes nothing else, and he is very pushy on his beliefs.
A bit of a heretic.
Yeah.
Okay.
Even though he does the same one, he believes everyone else is heretics if they don't believe it.
So would this be the sort of thing that as part of your role to turn people to the Church of is it Sidemare?
See me,
Yeah.
Sid Meier. It's fine.
Is this like a mission to take it to the non-civilized world, or are you more about turning this human country into this belief system?
I'm gonna say the whole world. I've got bigger pictures. I will try forcefully everyone believe this is the one true God.
You're a missionary.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think, by the way, if it's possible, CD Meir definitely exists. Like the mother and son definitely exist. I don't think we've got free will. I think he just kind of takes pity on us. I think we have got free will. Sorry, I think he just takes pity on us because we're so obsessed with him, and we got it so wrong that he's just like, "Oh, I'll throw you a bone, Victor, you idiot." But probably like this probably isn't the way the world works.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okie dokie. So I guess
Keep those bots.
this can play into like, so as a paladin you have like a quest as well, don't you, like ongoing? So your quest is delivering this to the wider world, I assume.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I will heal people with my lay on hands to show that I have got the wills to heal.
Well, no, surely to show that you haven't got the will.
To heal, yeah.
I through his will, yeah.
Yeah.
I meant to heal this disease from you. You got
Here,
that
have
disease so I
have
could
this
you.
heal. It's not me. I didn't do it. But
Yeah.
Yeah. You had that disease so I could take it away.
Cool. Oh, you need a wizard spell, don't you?
I do need to. Yeah, sorry, I was trying to figure out how to do that.
I can drag it straight in if you want.
It's fine. You carry on doing your thing. I need to look at the list anyway.
Yeah, no sweat. Cool. In that case, I guess on the subject of wizards, we have a wizard, don't we? Cool. Yeah. Tell us about your wizard then, Pring.
Pring. So Pring is a wizard. You can tell because he's got a pointy hat. All wizards have a pointy hat.
Classic.
The other thing he's got is a haunted look. Not emaciated, but thin body and very pale skin, and a bad case of the nerves, probably. He's a little bit jumpy, a little bit twitchy, always looking over his shoulder. The magic is, or at least the magic that Pring practices, is opening tears in reality to bring power from outside. And Pring's seen where that power comes from and isn't incredibly keen on it, but can't stop using the power. He studied many years ago, or he studied for many years at the Hidden Academy, a not particularly secret place that trains wizards, and then left to continue his studies, to learn more, to find more ways of bringing this power through.
Okay. So this tear in reality where he gets his power from, like, is this like an affront to the mother and the son, or?
Pring doesn't think so. No. Whatever is on the other side is malevolent and dark green, and it's not that you tear, or for his experience, my experience is that it's not that you tear reality and pull power through. It's that you tear it a little bit and then try and stop the rest of it bursting through, to do whatever it wants to do. So you're just letting bits through. No, it's not nice on the other side. It doesn't feel like the mother or the son. There are people that perhaps consider that maybe there's, where there's a mother, is there a father? And is he perhaps malevolent?
There's no father in the religion. In the accepted wider main church.
Yeah.
If there could absolutely be like a smaller church or a splinter group who has a father figure, but there's only the mother and the son in the main church.
Pring thinks this is outside of religion. He's felt it and it's real. This isn't some sort of stories and ways to explain what's going on. This is something real out there that's trying to come through.
And this type of magic, is this something that only Pring practices, or is this something like?
He learnt it at the Hidden Academy, and there are many practitioners, more than perhaps would be admitted. But yeah, it's something that's practiced in the dark mostly.
Victor and Maxwell, what's the sort of feeling from the religion towards this style or this source of magic?
Well, I don't really like it. And actually, jumping ahead very quickly, there's a bond about deity insulted my deity, and I think this absolutely is that. However, it's awkward for me. This is like where the tension comes in my life, is because in my gut I feel like I don't like it, but also it's not your choice that you are doing this. You're just following the will of the sun. You're just playing the game. You don't realize it yet, but you're just playing the game. What you think you've seen is not real. It's just part of the game. So I can't really be mad at you, but also I don't really like it very much as well.
That's fair.
I see a perfect bond for that one.
Respect
their beliefs, but they hope they will someday see the true way.
I can certainly see is woefully misinformed about the world. I will teach them what I can.
Victor is probably woefully misinformed about the world.
Okay. Dryden, our immolator. So tell us a bit about yourself, I guess, to start with.
You're muted.
Of course you are.
Yeah, so I am a Malta. I think that's how you say it.
An immolator.
What?
An immolator.
Immolator. Right there. And I'm a human. I'm not like a demon. But yeah. That's
When you say you're an immolator, so what is an immolator in this world? What does that mean?
Hold on. Well, I mean,
Because
I guess.
you
Well, for
have
me, it would mean like. Oh, right, yes.
gone.
No,
You have like a
yeah,
control over flames and fire, right?
yeah, yeah.
So what? So is this something that is exclusive to you? So a bit like the similar question with like that I had for Pring. Like, is Dryden the only immolator that can control flames, or is this like a practice that people can learn?
Well, I mean, you probably have to like do some sacrificial rituals, but some other people can learn it, I guess.
So is Dryden? You say sacrificial rituals. Is Dryden? Dryden is not a follower of the mother and the son, I assume, or
Nope.
okay. So what is Dryden's story then? Like what are these sacrifices about? Are they to like a god, or are they to just to the fire, or
I didn't really think of what god or thing like that, but what time period is this? Like, how close in the like? Is it like?
Whatever you want it to be.
yeah?
We are right now. We're making the world up. So if you want it to be a certain time period, just say it, and it will be. You have the power.
I don't
70s
know.
disco, baby.
Yeah.
Like what when you say sacrifices, what type of sacrifices are involved then in this? Is it like a physical sacrifice of something, or are we talking more like a sacrifice as in like you have to do certain things?
I mean, you have you have to like do certain things and also sacrifice things that are precious to you, and yeah. That
Okay,
sort
so
of stuff.
rather than like human sacrifice, this is more of like a
Oh
sacrifice
no,
of
no, no,
like.
no, not like human sacrifices. Maybe like a little baby of blood
So
to
this
show
is
Personal.
that you're like
is
loyal.
this more around then like a stripping of luxury or something? Like you have to sacrifice your creature comforts or something.
Yeah.
Okay. Um. So what does a sacrifice involve then? Like, is it just giving up on things, or is it burning stuff, or are you just an
I mean,
arsonist?
uh, I mean, you probably you do have to like burn some things, but I mean, it's mostly just like giving up things.
Okay. Fair enough. And what does Dryden what does he believe the source of his power
One
is?
second.
So obviously there's like some amount of like sacrificing or giving up of stuff, but like so where does he believe this power comes from? Is it a natural power? Does it come from some kind of god or deity, or
Like a god, yeah, a god.
okay, but not the mother or the son.
No.
You say God, I say some sort of eldritch horror from beyond the space and time.
And now I'm composing a song about gods fighting eldritch horrors.
This
So
so this sacrifice and then this flame controlling powers, is this like is it common? Is it something that most people would be aware of, or is it quite secretive that people wouldn't have seen before?
Quite secretive.
Okay, so it's not something people would have seen most likely.
Yeah, no, not like you probably wouldn't see a lot of people doing it.
Okay. And what's I guess what is Dryden's general like? What is Dryden's feelings towards like the mother and the son, and that religion like?
I mean, he doesn't his like family and stuff despise them, but he doesn't really mind. He's like he doesn't care who people believe in.
So when you say his family, does that mean Dryden's like is his background? Is this like a family thing then? This whatever his source of power is this something he was sort of
Yeah,
born
yeah.
into? Okay,
Yeah.
but he is more willing to listen to others' ideas than maybe his family were.
Yeah.
Okay.
I missed. Sorry. Are you? Sorry, I was running upstairs being summoned. Are you open about the fact you're not a believer?
I mean, I probably wouldn't be open to it, but I mean, yeah, it's.
So
I'm not,
outwardly, do you sort of portray yourself as a follower of the Mother and the Son, or?
oh no, I don't like say anything about it. I guess, well, yeah, I don't know.
What do you do on Harvest Festival then?
What's Harvard? What?
Harvest Festival is one of the biggest. It's Christmas for the Mother and Son Christmas. What do you do on Harvest Festival?
It's basically Christmas.
Do you hide away,
Um,
or do you take part but like hide but just lip service?
I take part. Well, I mean, the
Kill some
fa-
dogs, we let out.
family thing is that we're not allowed to take part. We're supposed to hide, but sometimes I do sneak out, saying that I'm going to go and get like food or something, and then I go to the festival. But yeah, I take part in it.
So
Just for
drive.
the fun, just for the festival funness rather than the religion.
Yeah, just for the
Yeah.
fun.
The fun, stay for the preaching.
Okie dokie. Alright, actually, worth coming back to you, Edwin, as well, with all these bits established. Like, where does Edwin fall on this, like, religious matters, I guess?
Firmly believes that it makes for very good songwriting. But probably is not a stout believer in gods and us all being part of a big game or anything like that. But isn't like openly like, it's all bullshit, like just kind of nods along whenever anyone says anything and just sure, yeah, whatever. Doesn't really have an openly like outward opinion on it.
Okay. Cool. Okie dokie. Is there any... Sorry, go on.
Carry on.
No, go ahead, go for it.
I've got to say what I look like because I missed that part.
Oh, yeah, go for it.
I have sad eyes and I have a tonsure, which actually in our world is essentially like a neck beard. It's like, and I'm also kind of flabby.
Nice.
That simple sort of priestly robes, I suppose. But I mean, our little church is not very big. It's me and Maxwell. Maybe one or two more.
So are Victor and Maxwell, are they already, like, familiar with each other, I guess?
I think we are. Yeah, we must be. It's a very small church.
Okay. That's cool. Is there anything about anybody's particular lore or character anybody else wants to ask any questions about or build upon? Nice. Okay, that's cool. I guess in that case then we can sort out bonds. If we cycle back through, I guess, in roughly the order we did. So if we come back round to you again, Edwin.
Hello.
Yeah,
was
bonds
it?
for you, yeah.
So, I've got so and so is often the butt of my jokes. And I feel like the whole preaching, the whole like we're all part of a game thing would likely cause a few jabs and that from a sarcastic so and so like I am. So I'm gonna put down this Victor now, isn't it? Yeah, Victor.
Victor, yeah.
Is
Excellent.
often the butt of my jokes. How many of these are we doing?
So everyone needs at least one bond, but you can have as many as you feel a fit. You can also, so obviously it suggests some bonds for everyone, but if something in what we've discussed just kind of feels like there could be a bond there, you can totally add something that is not just one of the pre-suggested ones.
Oh, okay.
And also in general, more bonds is pretty good, both mechanically in terms of you leveling up and just in terms of story, I think.
Yeah. Yeah. To be very clear, the whole simulationist like we're all in a game with just like characters in the game belief is completely wrong. And basically, the only reason that I am the cleric in this world is because Sid and Mia is taking such pity on me, and we're so dedicated to him. He's like, "Oh, go on, we'll help you out." That's the only reason I get my powers is because like he feels really bad for me. So yeah, absolutely, butt of the jokes. That's right on point.
Cool.
Is anyone out of the four of you like a pretty well known or like has been like an adventurer or a hero for like a long time? Or long enough to be known by other people?
Definitely.
I don't know if
Don't think so.
anyone is, but because if not, I haven't really got an answer for this one.
That's cool.
I don't know how high renown Maxwell, the religious enforcer, is.
Maybe he's like well known for being a bit of a douche.
Well, this one's I sang stories of them long before I ever met them in person, so I can definitely see writing some kind of sarcastic ballad about behaving yourself, or the nasty religious man's going to come knocking on your door.
I mean,
kind of
if
thing.
you've already got Victor as a butt of your jokes, then yeah, like the songs about Maxwell don't necessarily have to be positive, right?
Yeah, right. I'm singing stories of them. It doesn't say they're good stories, right? Like, so I'm gonna put down Maxwell for that one. And I am writing a ballad about the adventures of either Dryden or Victor.
I mean, driving or pring.
That's what I mean. Yeah.
If you want to
Sorry.
go for
New
one,
names
two,
is
one.
new names is
Yeah,
difficult.
all good.
I am probably quite interested in what Pring has to say, but to be quite honest, I'm probably writing a ballad about the cool guy that sets things on fire, because that makes for good music, obviously.
Fire boy.
Yeah. What do you reckon, Pring? Have you ever trusted me with a secret that I shouldn't tell anyone?
Weirdly enough, I'm pretty convinced that Edwin is keeping an important secret from me.
Oh.
You definitely know something that
I at
you
least
need to
know
know.
one thing. I'm
Yeah.
glad you've given me at least that. I do know one thing.
But yeah, no, I'm.
Oh, okay. So Pring does not trust me, and for good reason. Makes sense then. We'll go with that.
Oh,
Then.
what do you know about me?
Is it something about you I know?
I don't
or is
know.
it something you just would like to know that I know and I won't tell you?
I think it's something I want to know, but yeah. There's whole sections of my training I don't remember. So.
Okie dokie.
Yeah, I'll go with that. I like them. I've got those four then. I've got one with everyone. So
Cool. If we jump over, I guess, yeah, if we grab some from Maxwell then.
Yep. I've got one that says it stood by me in battle and can be trusted completely. And I feel that quite closely goes to Victor.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Out of
Didn't
interest,
choose to, of course.
obviously. Out of interest, when that says like stood by me in battle, like would that imply that Maxwell and Victor have probably been at least on some kind of adventuring like encounters type thing, like battle and combat would be unknown, or are we talking more?
It was a local women's institute. They booked the church hall after us, but we wouldn't leave.
Fair, yeah.
So they started throwing rotten apples at us.
They're
They were coming in to make their jam, but yeah. But we had a good fight. We saw them off.
I'm sure it was a tough one. Cool. What else have you got, Maxwell?
I respect their beliefs, but hopefully they will sometimes see the true way. I see that maybe as the wizard.
Okay. So you, yeah,
It's about power.
Yeah.
So you respect the source of his power, but you think that you could possibly convert him over.
And obviously with Theoden being the brave soul he is, I feel like I can learn from him with his fire.
Okay. Cool. Okie dokie.
Obviously, Edwin is very misguided behaviour, endangers their very soul.
Ah, okay, yeah, because he's
He's undermining your
yeah.
story.
Whoa! I just looked at Jake's webcam. Please tell me you're actually going to break out the tune for us.
It's called a prop.
Nice.
That is
Okay.
almost certainly
So
not correctly in tune.
that is not the flute that I imagined when you described having one.
This is as good as I could manage.
Well, I mean, in this world, that could be a flute.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
Did you say flute or did you
No,
say loot? You did
Lute
say
with
loot.
an L.
Oh, you did loot. Okay, that's fine. That's close to a loot.
That
Yeah,
makes much
it's
more
close
sense.
enough.
Victor, what about you?
Yeah, so I think two of mine are slam dunks, and the other two I'm gonna like present them together and then let people see what they think. So first off, I'm trying to convert Edwin to my religion, my faith, because his songs are really annoying and really quite good. And if he could only sing nice songs about me and Maxwell, it might help our cause. And then, of course, Maxwell is a good and faithful person, and I trust him implicitly. We have history. And then one of my last two are so someone's in sort of my deity, I don't trust them, and someone's in constant danger, and I will keep them safe. And there, actually, I'm not sure. So either Dryden, who is completely, definitely not a mother and son follower, is in sort of my religion, and therefore Pring, I see, like kind of follows it close enough and like sort of is like almost adjacent to it, but is doing something weird with the fabric of the game, and maybe he's escaping the game. Like maybe this is like a Matrix moment, and maybe I'm really worried. I'm like, what if you get out into like the world in which the mother and son inhabit, and you'll die? So maybe I'm trying to look after you, or maybe it's the other way around, and I'm trying to look after Dryden and Pring and Sultan. I don't know. I quite like that one a bit more actually, that way around. So yeah. And also Sam's put that in that way, so I guess that way is good. Yeah, I'm just really worried that you're like trying to basically like wall jump out of the game.
Dryden, what about your bonds? Have you got any suggestions?
Hold on. I don't know.
I think there is like Pring, you could read. So you've got someone has felt the hellish touch of fire. Now they know my strength. That could be a Pring one. Pring is obviously drawing his strength from some kind of non-mother and son force. If you think that works, Dryden.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be that it's the same force, by the way. Like, it might turn out that whatever force you're drawing it from is also the same force that we think we're worshipping. That is fine if that is the truth. It's not what I believe, but it could be the truth.
I'm just worried if we find out everything ends.
Yeah,
Which might be the same worry that you've got, to be honest.
Yeah, it exactly is. Yeah.
If we go that route, we have to make it better than the ending to the Matrix, which is essentially the same at that, right? And not satisfying in any way. What about someone you could teach the true meaning of sacrifice to? Is there anyone that fits that particularly, do you think, Cormac?
One thing, well, just no sacrifice, suffering. My petition is suffering. So maybe me.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
sacrifice is not quite the same, but
it also I mean, obviously as an outsider, but it does occur to me that Edwin doesn't seem to know the meaning of suffering. He seems to lead this pampered life with his loot.
That is actually a very valid
Yeah, I was
point.
even going to say Victor or Edwin.
You choose.
You guys will
Yeah,
be
you choose.
Very glad to hear that I have successfully tuned the ukulele.
Nice.
Welcome.
Is it tuned just an open chord?
What?
Is it tuned just an open chord?
I don't even know.
Don't test his musical knowledge.
Yeah, I don't know. I can remember one song on the ukulele because it's been about a year and a half since I even picked it up. Don't do this to me. Don't call me out like that.
Play G sus7. No. What do you reckon? Your choice, Dryden. Who are you going to teach the true meaning of sacrifice to?
Victor.
Victor. Okay. A
Good,
lucky
he's not gonna
escape,
set fire to
Edwin.
me. Yeah. Happy days.
What about I cast something into the fire for somebody and and I still owe them their due?
I don't really understand what that one means.
So I guess the implication there is that maybe you have because I think if I'm right in thinking you can burn stuff for people and get where is it? I thought you kind of fuel stuff on like you am I thinking your moves wrong? I thought you could burn stuff for people and get some kind of bonus, but maybe I'm thinking of something wrong. I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, that one's just saying that, yeah, you've done something for someone and they still owe you. You sacrificed,
Pretty
I
much,
guess.
yeah.
I've got Drone's a brave soul and I have much to learn from him.
Um,
I'm learning from him.
hold on a moment.
So maybe Maxwell?
Yeah,
Okay. I feel like you got off lucky there, Edwin. Okay. Cool. So I've got a load of handy information on the world and stuff. So what about? I suppose the most important question of all in like every RPG ever is what's the deal with your party? I suppose. So we know Victor and Maxwell already have this working arrangement. Like, what do you guys want to do in terms of a formation of a party? I guess.
Well, I think my bonds might lead into that. So, Dryden will play in it. I believe I've foreseen that Dryden is going to play an important role in events in the near future, and so I'm hanging around him to take part in those events. At the same time, Edwin is keeping an important secret. He knows something, and I need to know what that is before these events kick off.
It is the chords to Smells Like Teen Spirit.
And then my final one is that Maxwell is woefully misinformed about the world. I will teach them all I can. So Maxwell and Victor, I guess I'm hanging around with them because they happen to be around Dryden and Edwin. But Dryden is I'm just hanging around waiting for the thing to happen.
Okay. Also, I completely skipped your bonds, didn't I? My apologies.
That's okay.
Okay.
And I assume Edwin's here to basically collect more stuff for another roast of Victor and Maxwell.
Yeah, kinda. I'm here to get good lyrics and good melodies.
Run out of rhymes for dickhead, so he's got to come back and get some more songs.
I've literally run out of just absolute dragging songs to write. So I'm back again to pick up more shit.
Hey guys, do something stupid so I can sing about it.
Just you guys go do that. I'll be here. Yeah, okay, yeah, that sounds good. Sure, yeah, that works.
So why essentially then are the three of us, me, Maxwell, and Edwin, with Dryden and Prank? Because that's a good question.
Well, I'm writing one of my songs about Dryden.
Okay.
Because I'm very interested in Dryden as a concept because he is very openly not. He has powers and he is not following the.
So have you perhaps you've used your bardly charms to convince us to tag along with them, because that way you're like, I can get some comic stuff and some like heroic stuff at the same time, and this is like the best way. So you're kind of like
I'm filling out a full album, you know.
Yeah, you're putting the strings in order to like get all of your muses, as it were, in the same group together.
It's just efficient, you know.
Oh, you are the Nick Fury of this group, aren't you?
Yeah, and you've used your charisma and your bardly skills to get us get us together. And that works. That works fine for me. And I'm just here because I didn't get a choice.
I've just convinced you. I've been like, look, I've got this really great adventure. Let's all go and do.
Yeah.
Let's do this thing. You guys, do you want to come do this thing? Cool, yeah. And then do the same with Dryden. Do you guys want to come do this thing?
Do this thing.
Yeah, cool. By the way, these guys are coming.
Yeah.
Done.
The only minor issue I see with that is that you didn't tell us what this thing is.
The Bible, the man with fire is gonna set the world alive or something, or like bring in a new beginning, and that would like.
He is.
Why you're.
Are you saying that Edwin's been going around saying that Dryden is the chosen one?
Yeah.
That is the song I'm writing is entitled "The Chosen One," and it's just about Dryden.
So what is this task you've tricked them all into, or rather gathered them all into, Edwin?
Convinced, not tricked. Well, let's go
Sorry.
with that to start with. Come on.
Leveraged.
There is some ancient text that describes the foundation of the world and like society and everything.
The source code.
It's essentially the source code. Yeah. Essentially, to go find the architect
The source
and go
code.
beat the hell out of him until we get the source code. But in more fantasy-esque terms.
Where did you learn of this? The stories of this source codex, Edwin? Is this like something that's widely known? Or is this something that you have?
I was doing some late night reading in the restricted section of the library and came across a wonderful book that mentioned a tale of a supposed script that explained the world and that it was lost in some ruins of an old city somewhere. And just had to explore that because that is perfect songwriting material.
A human city, or
An ancient civilization pre-human.
The only reason I'm here is because after I was told about this, I petitioned Sidamir and said, what should I do? Like, you're my player, you control me. And he was kind of annoyed, like fed up of me constantly bugging him in his ear. And he thought it would shut me up by like going on this quest. So he said, off you go this quest.
I feel like I probably came to, because it's like two separate groups, came to it very differently. It came to like Maxwell and Victor was like, there's this story about this thing that like, it would solidify your belief. It would prove everything you've ever believed in. Like nobody would be able to refute the wonder of your religion if we were to find it. Do you want to come find it? And then went to Pring and Dryden and went, guys, there's this amazing thing. It would absolutely destroy this entire religion if it was found. You guys have got to come find it with me.
I mean,
Truth.
there's no need for you to convince me because I have no free will.
Because you have to do it, yeah.
Well, I don't have to do it. I just have to do whatever I do.
Will happen,
Yeah, well, exactly. I have no choice in the matter.
Case sera, whatever will be, will be.
Yeah.
That's a song or something, that is.
You should play it on your lute.
Yeah, I don't. I know one song and it is not applicable. Like,
is the location of this city like? Are you aware of the location of it, or?
it is outside of the human settled area.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure if anything other than that is known. If anyone else has a suggestion, they are welcome to suggest it.
My god, Sidamir said it was north.
Perfect. It's north.
North. That narrows it down.
Yeah, it is at least north of the human place.
That's a really good question. So does anybody know anything about the North, either in your party or wider? I guess. Or is this a sort of journey into the unknown?
I think it would be some kind of like wasteland almost north. Okay. So potentially could have been a civilization, but has since been washed over with some kind of, I don't know, desert or something like that. or I don't know, Arctic like snowstorm or whatever. It's just a clean blanket slate almost.
Every time I write the word desert, I'm always really concerned I've written dessert. Even
Mm.
at 34, I can never
Either
remember
isn't
which
it.
is which.
Yeah.
You're in one
It's
of
just
them.
It's a
We
giant dessert.
We can play in a
Yeah.
land made of cake if you
Has
really like. That is an option.
huge whipped cream rivers, make it incredibly hard to navigate.
Mm.
To say thick.
Okay, fair enough. Right, give me a couple of minutes to grab some things and put some notes together.
Okay, cool.
Talk amongst yourselves about.
I'm gonna go grab some more water, so I'll be back in a tick.
That's it. He doesn't want to talk to us.
Mm.
Oh, I do, of course, but I'm out of water. See you shortly.
So yeah,
So-
Edwin, every time you make a statement now, I like it's in the north. I'm checking it off against. Is that the important secret? No.
Is that no? I knew that. Okay, no,
Yeah.
it can't be that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, maybe there is something about the about where we're going or about what we're doing that I know that I haven't revealed to certain people.
The world is flat and there's an invisible wall that stops you going any further.
Mm.
Or some kind of horrific beast that guards
Yeah.
said treasure that I've decided to helpfully leave out of the discussion.
And just
Because, if I'd said that, you probably would say no. Mr. 12 hit point wizard.
yeah.
Yeah.
I'm assuming 12's a lot. I don't know. Seems like a
Yeah.
lot.
I've got
25.
18.
But you're a big buff bard. I mean, I was pleased to discover that a healing potion will restore 10, so that's great.
Oh, yeah, really?
Yeah, I think that's what
Nice.
it says. That's what it says.
My my
yeah.
magical healing that I can do with my magic, because I'm a person like
You're gonna
that.
sing me better.
I can sing you better for 1d8.
Huh.
I can heal 1d8 damage if I weave a performance into a spell.
Oh.
But
Have we really got to sit through a whole set before we get healed?
Yeah, I've got, and it's because only one of the performances in it is actually magical. You have to listen to like 5 preludes to it, and then I get the magic side.
So this is basically we've got to listen to all your old stuff first.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna get the. We've got something from the new album. We've got to play that first, and then we'll
Yeah.
go to the hits.
My healing's quite amusing. I can heal 7 if I roll 10 plus.
Ah.
If I roll between 7 and 9, I heal 8.
Wait, what?
But it gets transferred to me.
Oh.
Uh,
Oh yeah, you kind of soak the
so you
damage.
siphon the
instead,
damage
don't
off.
you?
Well,
I can remove one or get a disease if I roll that.
Yeah, I think if you partial success on your lay on hands, you can remove a disease, but it just gets put on you, doesn't it? Instead, it's just
Maybe you keep tricking me and keep giving me diseases.
yeah, tricking
That's
definitely.
a secret. I did give myself the lowest stat was intelligence, I think. So he's not the smartest of paladins.
See, mine is I'm a 9 wisdom. I'm a smart guy. I'm 15 intelligence. I'm a smart guy, but God, am I stupid.
wait, how? Oh, 15 intelligence. Are you 16 charisma, I'm assuming?
Yeah.
16
That would
charisma
seem
as well.
silly otherwise.
Yeah.
Oh god. So you're going to be. I can just see at the campfire the flexing and comparing physiques as you.
Well, with my 8 strength.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
Are you quite lean?
Me?
Yeah.
Actually, no.
Because
yeah.
I have 13 strength, but I'm also quite flabby. I'm kind of I guess a power liftery type, sort of
Yeah. Yeah, see, I've not got a lot of strength, but I'm quite. I'm not scrawny and gonna blow over in the wind or anything like that. But I've got a decent constitution still. Yeah. I'm not gonna get stabbed in the stomach and die immediately. Hopefully. Maybe we'll see.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Sarah, I've got a question before you start. I don't quite understand how my race human thing works. So my faith is diverse. Choose a wizard spell. You can cast and be granted that spell as if it's a cleric spell. Do I get to prepare it as an extra, or is it just like an extra spell on my list, basically?
It's an extra spell on your list. Yeah.
It's such a lame ability compared to the dwarf ability. It's fine. I'm not complaining. I just wanted to double check how it works because the dwarf ability is like a free level 5 spell as I wrote, but with a small restriction on it.
Wait, really?
Yeah, but you can use it on stone.
Oh, okay, right.
But
Yeah.
still, it's really good. Like it's like you can normally you can touch like anything which is like an animate, but this one's only stone. But like I feel like in a world made of stone, like it's probably really powerful compared to like the human one, which is just kind of a bit lame.
Everything is
fine.
made of wood. There is no stone in our world.
So,
It-
are
I say it's
spellcasters
fine.
kind of familiar with how? Because I don't think we had any spellcasters last time we played Dungeon World, right?
No.
no, we did not. I checked the rules, and I'm fairly happy with how it
So
works.
yeah, essentially, there's no such thing as spell slots. That you prepare stuff when you take a rest or when you take a prepare action, basically. But when you cast spells, there is a chance that you will forget them essentially until you've had time to stop and prepare again.
Yeah. Oh, are we starting with our spells prepared?
Yes, I'm fine with that. Yeah.
Excellent.
Cool. So,
I've got a really cool move saying, I am the law.
Another one.
you have to say that in
Yeah,
a Stallone voice.
You basically just convince like citizens to just do as you say, basically, don't you?
Unless I
That
roll
one.
really poorly and they just attack me instead.
Cool.
I've just done low
Okay.
charisma to make that work funny.
So we will open up then on your trek to the north through this sort of wasteland desert of unexplored territory. So you guys have you've left this central city. We never named the city either.
Centralia.
Good point.
Centralia. Splendid.
Perfect. It's in the middle.
The lamest like generic name ever. But obviously tracking that through Northlandia.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're heading to North Town.
Yeah, so you've set out from Centralia on the on sort of Edwin's word that there is he's found word of this the Source Codex, some long lost text which holds an ancient secret against sort of around the world that you are living in. So you've probably been journeying for a good number of days. You've journeyed right the way through out of Centralia, so out from the city itself, and then through the sort of farmlands around it, then slowly further and further out of this sort of civilized area of the world, and up to the further reaches of the sort of this conquered or civilized world. And beyond this is this sort of just desert wasteland. Pretty much as far as the eye can see, there is no landmarks. It looks pretty empty, and there's no real word of adventurers that have been there previously. And you're kind of going off this off Edwin's word alone. No pressure to be correct, Edwin. And as we pick up, you're traveling across this desert wasteland, and there's no, like I said, there's no sign of like man-made objects or anything you can see at the moment. But there's sort of like rocky outcrops. This isn't just like a plain yellow sandy desert. There's a few sort of mountain ranges you can see in the distance. And as you were traveling across it, excuse me. As we are travelling across at this point, I guess we will. I guess we'll just answer. We'll start with a quite simple question. So you're sort of five days into this journey at this point. Victor, how are you feeling, I guess, about Edwin's task for you at this point?
It's fine. What's for having opinions? It's never having opinions on anything.
That is...
Whatever. I have no choice. No one has any choice. We just are all shuffling around the earth as Sidimir intends. If this is what my god wants, this is what my god gets.
Yeah, absolutely.
What a god wants, what a god needs. Yeah. New song in the works, there we go.
I love it. Cool. Yeah, so as you're travelling, you can see up ahead. This is pretty much the not only the sort of first landmark you've seen, but pretty much the first sign of life you've seen, probably in sort of 2 days since leaving the sort of civilized lands. And it's the first thing you've seen in some time. Up ahead of you, maybe 120 yards, you can see there is some kind of there's just some kind of smouldering pile. There is a pile of something with just sort of smoke, not necessarily even smoke, but just heat emanating from it. Just this sort of slow smoulder.
I just point up and go, Dryden, why is there burning stuff? We haven't been here yet. That's normally your job.
You're probably.
I mean, it's kind of obvious why there's a fire. Someone's probably burnt something.
It's odd. There's been nothing to burn for hours, days.
Campfires? Someone might have been packing sticks and stuff. They might have brought sticks from wherever they were, and then camp out.
If he wants fire, he has fire.
Fire.
Maxwell, shouldn't we go over and check this out?
Yeah, I'm guessing if that's what God wants, or someone wants me to do, I'll trundle over there.
What a god, what?
You sort of heading over alone, Maxwell, or
If Sun has someone coming with me, they join me. If not, I'm guessing that's the will of the gods.
I stand back and probably stand back with Prig and go,
I-
watch this. He's going to do something stupid in a second.
I'm just remembering what a long 4 or 5 days this has been, with both of them going, yeah, whatever you like. What are we gonna have for dinner? Yeah, anything. Whatever.
I don't mind. You choose. It's fine.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter, does it?
Just make a decision.
It's
Right.
probably fairly grating.
fair enough. You head forward alone then, Maxwell. And as you get a little bit closer, you start to sort of just smell this like sort of smell of burning flesh, and you can see it appears that the this pile up ahead of you, it looks like it's you can see sort of horse bodies with like humanoid uppers, like upper body. So what seems like 2 centaurs, and there's just the 2 of them, one piled above the other, and there's large holes just ripped into the bodies of them, as well as just like I say, just this sort of smouldering, just light smoke coming up off of them. What do you want to do?
My god gave me this here to eat because he knew I was hungry.
I told you he was going to do something stupid.
He's gonna eat it, isn't he?
I'm writing the song already about eating horse people.
So
Do I see any footprints or anything?
That sounds like you are closely studying the situation, so I'll get you to make a discern realities roll. And we can make you the first one to roll something.
One snake eyes.
Nice. Yeah, you can ask one question from that list.
What is about to happen? Am I about to eat this horse meat?
What is about to happen? You, so you are able to, just from sort of some legends of this northern wasteland, you would know that it is known to be one of the many creatures that are rumored to inhabit it are fire beetles. They are known to attack in large hordes, and they basically burn and tear the flesh off of anything that has meat before sort of leaving them sort of half devoured once their appetites are sated. But they don't tend to go too far away from their sort of grounds. They sort of stay. They're more activated by stuff coming to them rather than going searching for food.
So this is cooked horse meat.
It would certainly be cooked. Yes.
You've got to admire
Take
his
a bite.
focus.
Some determination there. He is going to eat that horse.
I will shout over that the Lord has brought us some food.
Yeah, and you, as you sort of swallow this meat, you can sort of pull some of it off. It looks like it's been sort of smouldering for some time. It actually sort of like tears off pretty easily, and it's actually pretty tasty, Maxwell. Yeah, it's pretty good as far as centaur goes.
I'm like wincing the next spring watching this happen. Like,
Sean, I'm not hungry.
no, but I mean, I have standards, you know.
It's also a good moment to ask Maxwell. Like, centaurs? What do you know about centaurs? Like, are they something that are widely known of?
Now I know they're tasty.
Are centaurs like a civilized species, or like do they have the intellect of a human, or just the body of a human? I guess.
I would like to say that Maxwell thinks that they're just creatures, but they're actually really properly intelligent.
Okay.
But Maxwell's not the brightest of foes and just thinks they're like wild dogs, but they're not.
I believe that they are the domain of the sun, and I'm kind of a bit horrified, but also, I can't stop him.
Feed.
It's all the will of the sun anyway, so.
Exactly.
The sun knew I was hungry and brought me
Such
some
an
food.
excuse.
Yeah.
Hence, it was just laying there.
I'm not going to make any decisions this entire game. Because
Oh no!
it's all the will of the sun.
I will, but Victor may have come up with this religion because he's feeling fairly miserable about his life, and was just like, if I have no free will, that's not my fault. I'm a screw up. But
That's a good.
Maxwell's taking it
that's a good
too
line.
seriously.
Maybe I should
Taking
just
it to,
invent
like,
a
the
religion.
that's what I did. It went really well. I've got a follower.
Yeah.
What are the rest of you doing whilst you see this sight then of Maxwell just sort of tearing at the flesh of this centaur?
I can't let him. Oh. I'm good. Pring is gonna move over.
I would
Closer.
ask if they wanted it cooked.
I think
It is
it's already
cooked, I
pretty
think.
cooked.
Yeah, it's cooked.
Oh.
Are these centaurs? Do they have any like clothes? Anything that a person would have? Like, I don't know, stuff.
No, they don't seem to have anything beyond on them. There's no sort of tools, weaponry, despite that token I just put down. Just a basic centaur's body.
Can I cast a spell?
Yeah.
I would ask Sidamir for guidance. I cast a spell, got the rote guidance. To ask him if a centaur is a gift from the mother or one of his pawns. And that's what I'm looking for guidance for. So I cast guidance. Do I roll? How rotes work? Actually,
So whenever you
it's
use any of
cost
your
spell,
spells,
right?
use the caster spell. Yeah.
Yeah, cool. So I'm just gonna roll my dice here.
Oh yeah, cool.
It was 9.
Nice.
Yes, 6 plus 2, right? Plus my wisdom,
Yes.
so 11.
Nice. Yeah. It is successfully cast.
Yeah, cool.
So sorry, the question. What was the question again? Sorry.
So my question was, is this centaur a gift from the mother or one of your pawns? And the answer, it's a gesture towards the direction or course of action. Oh, it's not really a question, is it? So I should eat. If I should eat the horse, eat the centaur.
And
Hoping for no.
yeah, you what's the best way to do this? I guess I'll leave it up to you. I mean, so the answer is no. How would that be gestured back to you?
So do you remember back in like the 90s, there was the National Lottery advert with like the giant hand
Yes.
that used to like
Yeah.
point at people with it. Yeah, it's just like one of those gigantic hands appears in the sky. It just does this.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
And
Oh.
I'll immediately shout over to Maxwell to desist.
Maxwell.
I question why.
If he doesn't stop straight away, I shout over, That's fancy person for stop.
The sun demands it.
Stop then.
So you worked out? Did you work out what had done this to these creatures?
Firebugs.
Fire bugs.
Yeah, firebugs.
Fire bugs.
Yeah. Firebugs.
Okay.
They're a use of
Cool.
cooking instruments that the sun brought us.
Suppose that's one way to look at it. I mean, is there a way to see if I know about?
Yeah, you can spout lore.
or what I know about these firebugs.
Yeah, totally. You can spout lore to see what you know about them.
The well-described firebugs. So what am I doing for spout lore? It's plus intelligence.
Cooking utensils, I already told you.
That is 11.
Nice. Yeah, so you would excuse me. Yeah, so firebugs are they're not found within like Centralia in the civilized worlds, but they are known to be these just large hordes. Sometimes can appear in numbers of like upwards of sort of 20 to 30 even. And they are maybe. They stand about a foot off the ground in height and about the same in sort of width. And they're relatively cute looking actually, but they're actually quite ferocious, and they just spout fire, almost like little miniature flamethrowers, which they use to sort of protect themselves and to actually burn and then cook anything that comes close to them, which they then devour with these just horrible little like sucker type mouths. They have this like circle of teeth with another circle of teeth just within it. Quite grim. They're quite cute looking from a distance.
Horrifying.
These can be the new boggles.
That is truly horrifying.
This be a pet that we could take to bring over as a portable cooker.
I mean,
Go.
that sounds pretty bad.
I don't know. It Seems efficient.
Oh no, I mean the whole horde of them like burning and eating us. That seems bad.
Oh, hordes are
They
often
they
bad.
come in groups of
Um,
like 20 to 30. Like
The
I
other-
agree, one not so bad.
The other
How do
most
they
important
hunt?
bit you'd probably know as well, Edwin, based on your success, is that they're relatively immobile. They don't go hunting. Rather, they wait for prey to come to them.
Perhaps.
So we're stood like right near a nest of them. Essentially, is what I'm thinking at that
Yeah,
point, and
just
I probably
start
tell
stepping-
Probably on it.
stepping-
Just stood on it.
Start stepping back.
I tell
Gently.
Maxwell, I go, Maxwell, I know I delight in your pain and your ineptitude sometimes, but I'd suggest you step back from where we are, my friend.
I'll head back now.
And I suggest we take a wide berth and keep an eye out for any unnecessary encounters.
The mother really is challenging the son today. This is a tough level.
No, there's really challenging the sun. Yeah, sure.
Oh.
Ah, so the son speaks for you as well.
Yes, yes, it does. Speaks from somewhere.
It was a good meal.
I am gonna, whilst like we're going along, I am gonna be keeping an eye on Maxwell now, just in case he starts to turn green.
I'm gonna try and talk to Maxwell and just bring up what a centaur is and the fact that they had a human face and arms and were presumably people, and just try and get him to think about why he ate them. And yeah, and if he's
Of life.
but would you eat Victor?
If that's what son told me to do.
I just step slightly
The son
further
told
away.
you not. The son told you not to eat it.
So this armored 16 strength paladin is standing there going
13 strength.
13 strength. Oh, it's hard to tell when
More
with the armor.
constitution, because I'm guessing he eats loads of crap.
Oh, this brick shit house is basically saying to me, "Yeah, I'd eat you if they told me to."
If I got the right vibe, I'd probably eat you. Yeah,
Yeah.
that's fine. Nothing wrong with that, right?
Crap.
That is pretty chilling.
It is chilling, and what's really chilling is that he's not scared by it. That's where I'm trying to.
It's
Dryden.
meant to be.
What are you doing whilst this is going on? Like, what's your reaction to this?
I'm just saying silent throughout all of it. Followers.
It suddenly pops into my head that we've already got a portable cooker. We don't need a firebug.
You're not
Yeah.
wrong.
Yeah, you've already got a fire, boy.
I guess you're safe, Dryden. He's not going to eat you.
Oh.
Or at least not
If
first.
son
I'll cook him
has
from
me,
the insides if
feel
he
free
does.
to eat me. If I die and you need nourishment.
Hang on, sorry. Did you just give us permission to eat you if we need to?
If you need to, if son allows it.
Nice. I mean, I'm not gonna, but it's nice to have the option. I won't lie. You know. Nice to know we have
Be is
permission.
meant to be.
At this point, Victor started this religion, and it's quite a new religion, a new sect of the religion. And Maxwell, he's known him like for years. It's been like a few months, and he did trust him, but now he thinks that maybe some of the sort of the concepts of the religion may allow for some lunatics to be part of it, and perhaps it's slightly more dangerous than
You've actually just accidentally made a cult, is what you're saying
Maxwell's
instead.
bit
like a really bad.
It's not just a cult; it's a cannibalistic cult.
It's literally
Yeah.
like a murder cult, yeah.
It's
Because
just-
it's fine because the sun didn't tell us we couldn't. So yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
that is
That's
next.
probably similar
son-
to Lemmy of Mice and
Yeah, there are some problems with that, isn't there? Like, Victor just wanted something to not feel bad for being a screw up, but it turns out that you can do whatever you like and not feel bad for it. And I think that's psychopathy, isn't it?
I can see it being popular.
Like it's just psychopathy.
Uh,
Oh dear.
yeah.
Whilst
I feel somewhat concerned with my my chum, who I would what was it I would previously trust him implicitly. I no longer trust him implicitly.
That's a broken bond. I'm
Broken bond.
shocking.
He
I'm
would
just
never lie to you, don't you worry.
no. I'm going to eat you. He said.
At least he was honest about it.
Yeah. It's
I wouldn't kill him.
At least it won't be a shock, you know.
Whilst this is going on, Dryden, you're sort of watching on, just sort of taking this in. And all of a sudden, you can feel this sort of like almost like just like almost like tiny footsteps or just a tickle, like sort of running up the back of the leg of your trousers.
A tickle.
Yeah, just like almost just like a finger softly sort of moving up your leg.
Don't. Why?
burn it.
What do you do? How do you react to that?
Is it like right? How big is it?
What the feeling?
Yeah.
It feels like it feels like almost just like like a piece of string just being sort of almost like a piece of string just being draped over your leg and just slowly.
So it's probably just a spider then. A spider that's going to bite me and poison me. That's fine. I pick it up.
If the sun
try
wants you to be
God.
bitten, then you will be bitten.
If the sun.
This
Right,
religion is going to turn this game into Sam describing things that happen to us and us going, oh, well, if that's what
Well,
Sam wants.
yeah, that's what was that. If that was gonna happen, you know.
Yeah.
Right, so I try and like.
I wanted the challenge of like playing like something that had no free will. I didn't believe it had free will, and it's gone horribly wrong. No.
It didn't take long.
Oh, sorry, Cormac. Carry on.
Oh, I'll try and like look more like see where it is, and then I'll like grab at that spot, see if I pick up anything.
Okay, I'll get you to do discern realities for me.
Sorry, what's that?
Discern realities.
Ah,
Nice. You can ask 3 questions about whatever is going on, I guess.
Excellent work.
What is it?
So you're able to just slowly twist your head back and look down, and behind you, you can see this horrific squid-like creature, which is
Land
sort
jellyfish.
of, it's just this
Return.
small squid-like creature, it looks like it's just trailed up in the sand behind you, and you can see it has like a number of tentacles coming off it, and one of them's just reaching up the leg of your trouser.
sand jellyfish.
I back away.
Well, you've got 2 more questions you can ask first from that if you want.
Can I back away? Is it possible for me to back away, or is he like attached onto me?
You can back away if you want, but first, if you do that, you'll lose any of your other questions if you want.
No, I meant that was a question.
Oh no, so the questions come from that list.
Oh. What is about to happen?
So these you recognise these are maggot squids. They have these small tentacles, and what they do, they wrap them round sort of any living creature, and once they can wrap it round in a circle around any part of the body, they paralyse that creature.
No. Could I ask how close it is to wrapping its tentacle around my leg?
It's sort of the tentacle sort of tickled its way up the back of your leg, and it's probably up to around your sort of like your upper calf, and it's just slowly starting to wrap around to the front, almost right to the front of your kneecap.
Do I see this, by the way?
I think we'll just let Dryden play out his initial reaction, but yeah.
Can I walk like a bit away from it and then set it on fire?
I mean, if you want to do something and move away from it, I think it's almost certainly gonna be like defying danger. So I mean, what do you want to do? You just want to quickly sort of dart forwards or something, or
Yeah.
okay. I will. You can roll defy danger with your dexterity then.
What? What?
On your sheet, you can roll defy danger using your dexterity.
How do I choose to do it with dexterity?
Once you click it, it will ask you what to use.
Oh, right, okay. Oh.
Yeah, so you can mark an XP.
Right.
Yeah, so you sort of turn around slowly and spot it. Then as you go to dart forward, you're just a little bit too slow in your reaction. And it just sort of, it grasps, it sort of just flings that tentacle around your leg, and you just feel yourself unable to move, and your whole body just tenses up. Your muscles just sort of immediately, almost like your whole body goes into cramp, and you're just unable to move.
Can I talk or?
You are entirely paralysed. That every muscle in your body is paralysed for this moment.
What about lungs?
So yeah, so Victor, you wanted to act, didn't you? So
Yeah, can I just turn around and whack it with my staff?
Yeah,
but obviously I'm too late as well. So I'm too late for the initial hit. Yeah,
but you can react immediately to it.
Just a normal attack, right?
Yeah,
which is
hack and slash
plus strength.
Yes.
7, 8.
Cool. Yeah, so you can roll your damage.
Which is just a D6, I think, for me.
Okay.
Where's damage? Oh, let's just do it here. Oh, it's D6, so 5.
Nice. Yeah, you can tell us how you kill it.
Oh, I've just so it's a maggot.
Yeah. They're like these little. They're more like squid-like creatures. They're called maggot squids, but they look more like a squid, just sort of.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I guess like there's a bit where it's like got its tentacles and like a body like a squid, right? There's like the bit. There's like some sort of bit in between. I just literally turn with my whole staff, both hands, just whack, and almost like split it in half. Like the skin and stuff, like it's still together. It's not cut in half, but like the important parts are severed entirely in half.
That's cool. Yeah. So yeah, Dryden, you sort of see.
So can I just ask a quick question?
Yeah, go for
it. First off, it didn't get to attack me back because I killed it first.
They happen simultaneously.
Okay.
So if in this particular example, yeah, you killed that one, but the one that's snuck up just to the side of you
is going to attack me. Okay,
that's
cool.
You, yeah.
The next question is that my abilities, when I hack and slash, I can only deal damage if it attacks me back, whereas my thief had like 3 different options. Is that just because it's a different character? Or is there something wrong with my character sheet?
Let me have a look quick.
Oh yeah, your thief would have had like sneak attack, different style of attacks.
Yeah.
Yeah, that might be. I'm not sure.
Yeah,
if that's
it might be something tied to your thief, possibly. Yeah, because you're.
I thought I had. Oh no, that was for volley. Has the different thing.
Volley does have multiple options. Yeah.
Because you have ammo and stuff.
Oh, maybe it was volley then. Maybe I'm misremembering.
I think you did quite a lot of bow attacks.
What you did was volleys because it was daggers you were throwing.
Daggers, yeah, it was daggers. Yeah. Maybe I'm just misremembering.
You can squash that one that was wrapped around Dryden. Dryden, you feel yourself, all your muscles almost immediately just untense again, and you're able to move. And as that happens, another of these maggot squids it just lashes out with one of its, rather than trying to sort of wrap around you, Victor. It just sort of smashes out at you one of its tentacles. For 6 damage. You've got 1 armor, right?
I have 1 armor, yeah.
Cool.
So that's 5 damage. Is that correct?
Yes. Yeah.
I've done it already. Cool. Awesome.
Dryden, I guess because you've just immediately been freed in that moment, what's your sort of initial reaction to suddenly be able to move again?
Right, am I muted or not?
No.
Oh, you're good.
Oh, yay. So what I do is I'm like shocked. Like, I'm like, oh, what just happened? And scared and stuff. And then I
Yep.
see that, and then I
Right.
just, yeah. I see that, then try and help.
What does trying to help look like?
I spring at the weird land squid and try and like stab it, slice at it.
What are you trying to slice it with? Because I don't believe you have any weapons.
Oh, I thought I did for some reason. I'm an idiot, aren't I?
You
Well,
can
I'll set it on fire.
you can conjure weapons made of flames
Fire.
with your burning brand.
Yeah, I do that.
Cool.
Where'd
So
you conjure them from?
yeah, tell us what it looks like. Yeah.
So it sort of looks like a dagger, like a dagger-like thing, but with like a sort of like It looks very. It has like it looks like it should be used for piercing. If that, yeah, that. It's got
Stabby
very,
dagger.
yeah, very sharp end.
What happened? Like, how do you sort of conjure it? Does it just appear in your hand, or does it sort of come out of the environment somehow? Or...
Do you vomit it from your mouth?
I it's like my hand sort of like sets ablaze, and then I will, and then I will go into a think, I guess, like a brain thing, and think of like what I want it to look like, and then I do things like summoning thing, and then it comes into my hand.
Nice. In that case, you can roll Burning Brand.
Where is that?
It's one of your basic moves. Not basic, one of your starting moves. Way nice. Yeah. So you get your Burning Brand weapon. So it has the fiery, touch, dangerous, and free uses tag. So you can attack with it 3 times. 7 to 9. You actually choose one additional. Do you get what happens?
I believe it doesn't have the dangerous tag because he's rolled so well, right? It removes the dangerous tag.
Let's have a look. Emulator. I've got this list of sheets in front of me.
That's
Emulator.
what it says.
Burning
It
Brand.
says on the side of the thing that for sure.
Yeah. I think there's if you get like a partial success, you get to summon
Oh
it, but
yes.
it
So yeah.
doesn't necessarily have all of the things.
Yeah, so on a 10 plus, you get to choose two of those tags there, Cormac.
So like
So basically you can choose: is it a hand weapon, is it a thrown weapon, does it do +1 damage, or do you want to remove the dangerous tag?
what does dangerous tag do?
So dangerous means that when you're using something, there is like the possibility that it could hurt you as well. Essentially, it is dangerous. It's easy to get in trouble with, and foolishness means consequences.
Could I remove the dangerous tag and take? Wait. So what's hand?
Hand means you can use it in hand-to-hand combat. Thrown means you can throw it like near, so like short range. Or +1 damage means it has +1 damage.
I'll just take hand, I guess.
Cool. So yeah, your hand sets ablaze. Now you have this flaming dagger in your hand. Then
Yeah.
nice. Cool. What do you want to do with that flaming dagger? I guess.
I kind of like jump onto the squid and stab it.
Cool for it. You can hack and slash.
Yeah.
Whee, not so good. You can take
I'm
more
so
XP
bad
though.
at roll.
Hey, you're getting the most experience. It's all good.
Oh yeah.
Yes, you can take experience. So yeah, you obviously you jump over to sort of jump onto it or to attack it, but it just sort of almost just sort of like rolls out of the way in the sand and then just sort of swings one of its tentacles back up at you. For
Fine.
a mass 1 damage.
Oh, I'm dead.
And what as you sort of do that, there's then just this sort of rustling in the sand as the rest of this pack of the maggot squids pop out. Pring, what are you doing in reaction to this at the moment?
I'll be back in a moment.
That sounds good. Oh, you
You are
might be
muted.
Pring.
I am on mute. Yes. Did Dryden fall then?
No, he jumped over to attack it, missed the attack, and just got hit back. But he's still on his feet.
All right, that's okay. I knew there'd be more of them. The only logical thing to do is to consider how much I weigh, which is more than my unseen servant can carry. And grasping my staff in both hands, I'm just going to move sort of back to back with these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And then look again at my character sheet. But why did I not learn Magic Missile? Yeah, Detect Magic and Sanctuary are not going to help. Yeah, I'm just going to take a defensive stance. I'm not going to go and try and attack them.
Yeah.
I'm just going to... As soon as one gets within staff range, I'm going to squish it, but that's it.
Nice, just going back to back in the Avengers pose, I guess. Yeah.
Edwin is just kind of laughing a little bit at this point.
Is that all you're doing? Edwin's just watching on at the moment.
Edwin thinks he knows a way to a potential weakness of like creatures, but is probably letting the rest of the party do stupid things before he does anything, because it makes for better stories.
Whilst Edwin watches on, sort of giggling or laughing, smirking, I guess, what's Maxwell doing?
Maxwell's going to charge in front of Victor and shield him.
Yeah.
And defend Victor.
Nice. So you just sort of...
So I see I've got like a defense.
Dash over this way.
Defense of a person under attack rolls. I can... Oh. I can defend up to 3 people, is it? Or...
Perfect.
So it's like a defense thing on my moves?
Yeah, so you roll defend, and then depending on what happens... you can mark some XP. Yeah, so you sort of you dash in to attempt to defend Victor, but as you do so, you sort of, as you're sort of dashing over in that direction, you stop just around here. As your foot just sort of, it's almost like the sand that you step down your left foot on is actually hollow, and your foot just goes down into the sand about knee height, and you're left with like one foot sort of just down in the sand, sort of stuck, and you're sort of you're just sort of stuck there struggling to get to sort of pull it out for a moment. Victor, you see Maxwell obviously dashing over towards you, then his just sort of dropped down into the sand like that.
Yeah, he's done something stupid now, so I'm content. So, I don't know if this is how it works, so, like, feel free to tell me this is not how it works. Like, could I try and, like, say that I've possibly read about these creatures before, and possibly know of, like, something they're weak to, or something that kind of...
I don't. It's not gonna come on. It wouldn't come under your bardic knowledge, I think. But you can definitely try like spout some lore to see what you know about them. Yeah.
Well, I was trying to think of trying to like, if possibly they might react poorly to very loud, high-pitched noises. and it might stun the lot of them or something. But
Let's spout lore and see what you know about them.
sure. What is spout lore? It's intelligence again, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's right, because I'm really intelligent. Which actually, to be fair, I rolled 11, so that'll be 12.
Nice. So yeah, you get. I will tell you something interesting, useful about the subject. Which yeah, so maggot squids have rather than they don't actually have like ears or anything like that. Instead, though, their whole body is almost like one large like receptacle of movements through the air. So loud noises, particularly like high-pitched musical stuff, is extremely painful to them. Not only is it sort of off-putting, it actually can just outright damage them.
I guess I will just, as loud as I possibly can at that point, just full top fret of the lute and just like that over and over again. Just as loud as I can to try and kind of quell these things a little bit.
You can roll damage.
I could roll. Oh, I get to roll a damage.
I know, a bard
that's
rolling damage.
It's a D6. It could be so good. Or it could be a 1. What? That's a 1.
Yeah, none of them take any damage.
They've all got the armor, haven't they?
They may have armor 1, yes.
Damn it! I'm like, and you see like the look. I'm there. Like, I'm like, you guys are. Oh, honestly, you guys are so okay. I've had my fun. Right, I'll help. And nothing happens. I'm like,
oh shit.
Okay.
Did you say out loud that they are sensitive to high pitched noises?
No, I did not.
You just started playing the lute.
I just went, oh, I'm clever. I know this.
Could I spout lore?
Yeah, totally.
But I want to know about how fast they are, or at least the rumors about how fast they are. What I know about them. So it's in right.
Yes.
So 6. Oh, that's a fail. Oh no.
Yeah, you know nothing about their speed, but you do gain an XP. But yeah, you know absolutely nothing. And I think whilst you're just sort of stopping to try and sort of think through in your head, like what do you know about these? And as you're doing that, Maxwell, you just feel that where your leg dropped down into the sand there, you suddenly feel like the sand around your leg sort of opens up a little, and bursting out of that space is a fire beetle.
At this point, I just shout, "Run!"
How do you react, Maxwell? So you've got one leg sort of knee deep in the sand still, and this fire beetle's just popped up out of the ground adjacent to you.
Is that my go, yeah?
Yeah.
I feel like Maxwell's not smart enough to put his leg out. I reckon he would just swing his halberd at it.
Yeah, just stay there, half stuck in the sand, sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, hack and slash away.
I can imagine him just going, "Go away, you fell beast."
Nice. Yeah, it doesn't get to attack you. You can deal your damage, and you can also do an extra D6 if you allow it to attack you.
Yeah, why not?
You're going all in.
Yeah.
Nice.
So roll a damage and then a 1d6.
Yeah. Nice, yeah.
Damage worth it.
So yeah, you do 5 damage. So yeah, you do a bunch of damage to this fire beetle. It's not quite enough to kill it, and then it just reacts. You do that, and it immediately just reacts by just letting out this small like puff of flame straight into your face. Which does 3 damage to you.
That's 1, right?
No, it is 3 damage. Fire beetles ignore armor.
How?
This is just so go on.
How heavy is this fire beetle?
Fire beetles, they're about a foot in height, about a foot in width. They probably weigh like about a kilo.
So give that in weight units.
Yes. 2 weight units, I guess.
2 weight units.
Weight units are really nebulous at this. Yeah, it's 2
Yeah.
weight units.
Okay,
Right, have you got something in mind, Pring?
I've got an idea. Okay,
This is going to be good.
I don't know. Is it me? Can I do something?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, I'm going to summon my unseen servant, which is a rote spell. So that's cast a spell, I guess.
Yes. Yeah.
And it is prepared because it's a cantrip. So I think if I click that, it worked.
Nice. Yeah.
So summon the unseen servant, who appears unseen next to me, and then I steady myself, and I'm going to move around Maxwell.
Mhm.
I'm going to try and time it so that after the firebug has attacked, and I realise I might have to wait for it to attack again. I am going to grab it, put it on the unseen servant who is floating just behind me, and then send the unseen servant into the middle of the maggots.
That's cool. Okay, so yeah, you sort of dash over. As you do, then this fire beetle just lets out another puff of flame at Maxwell.
Ooh, Sinji.
Which is 6 damage straight through your armor, Maxwell. And then I'll get you to roll Defy Danger.
Yeah, that sounds reasonable.
Using, I think, intelligence, quick thinking.
Okay, let's see how I can work out how to do that. Defy danger. Using intelligence. Close.
Nice, yeah. So you're able to do it, but I think maybe the timing's just a little bit off. So I'll give you the choice of whether this fire beetle, whether it lets out its next little puff of flame into your face or straight at Maxwell.
That's cruel.
That is
cruel,
cruel.
isn't
That
it?
is a cruel decision to give.
Yeah.
You've already
Maxwell
dealt
can
Maxwell
take it.
6 damage in allowing this to happen.
Oh, he's my party.
Yeah.
No, I'll take it.
Bearing in mind his armor soaks up nothing here. That's rough.
Oh,
That's half your health, isn't it?
that is exactly half my health. That's
I've
fine.
still got 16 health. You should have just faced it.
Now he says.
Like, yeah, I'm fine.
There's a lesson there.
Yeah.
Face it
So
towards me.
I grab it. It goes off in my face, and then burning and singed, push it onto the unseen servant, and then push the unseen servant then heads off that way.
Yeah. And as the fire beetle ends up over there, it just sort of starts spraying out fire, sort of just wildly in any direction, trying to just sort of break free. It seems, and in doing so, takes out 4 of the maggot squids.
Boom.
Could I do something?
Yeah.
So seeing this go down, I'm not feeling very confident. So I'm going to just give you 1 second. Touch. Yeah, okay, it's touch. So I'm going to I'm going to just shout. I shouted run already actually, but I'm going to run over to Pring, hand on Pring, cast Cure Wounds. But this is sort of like, actually, I don't know how I want to do this, but it's kind of like I'm running away at the same time. So like I'm kind of like grabbing him to run away whilst casting Cure Wounds. So
Yeah, that's cool.
it's kind of like a Defy Danger, kind of like a Cure Wounds. I don't know what order you want to do that in. Probably Defy Danger first, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, do the Defy Danger, see how you sort of get away, I guess, from this.
It's gonna unfortunately be a Dex
I
one,
think that makes sense, yeah.
even though I'm not very good at Dex. So it is a 6. Womp womp.
I think so. You're able to sort of get away still, but in your sort of dash to do it, maybe it just sort of it throws out one of its tentacles, not enough to sort of grab you and paralyze you, but just enough to sort of trip you. but you're able to sort of fall forward and still get your touch on Pring to do your healing touch.
But no further.
No, and you just sort of end up face down in the sand at his feet, essentially.
As I trip, I like just reach out my staff and just tap him with the staff to cast the Cure Wounds.
Tag.
Yeah, of course.
Cool. So Cure Wounds is. Oh, that's the dice. Okay, it'll be 3 damage.
Yep.
3 health if I cast it.
Yep.
I need to cast it though. And I cast it, so 7 plus Wiz is 9. So that's a partial success, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Partial success.
Does that, as a suggestion, you run across, you stagger, you manage to reach me with a staff by tangling it between my legs. So that's good.
that's something.
That is true.
That is a quarter of his health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Dryden, I guess whilst this is all going on, so you've just seen Victor. Victor's just sort of dashed away from your side, shouting "run." As he's done so, that maggot squid next to you just sort of grabbed him and tripped him up. What are you doing? You have 2 uses left on your branded flame weapon, I believe, as well. You are muted, though. Cormac?
Yeah,
Aha.
I knew I was muted.
Don't do it then, it's fine.
Right, so I run away. Well, no, before I run away, but before I do, I try and strike at the land squid thing,
Okay,
maggot.
Yeah, you can hack and slash at that if you want. So this is with this burning dagger again, yeah?
Yeah. Oh my!
It's alright, it's a partial success, so you can
It's
roll your
partial.
damage.
How do I roll damage?
There's just on your character sheet you just have a button that says damage. It's right up near the top. Next to your armor, yeah.
What damage?
Nice, yeah, you kill it, but at the same time it just sort of reaches out with its just sort of slashes back at you at the same time. And deals 4 damage to you in response. But yeah, you are able to kill it, Dryden.
Don't feel bad about partial successes. It's a really bad name. It should just be called success, because it's what you expect most of the time.
Yeah, the average roll on 2d6 is a 7, right? So depending on your modifiers, yeah.
Yeah, the full success is like a super success more than anything.
So obviously you wanted to run away, Richie Dryden. I mean, you've killed that one now. So I mean, what do you do? Are you still running away, or are you standing your ground? Yeah. That's cool. I mean,
I'll just run away.
That's cool. I don't think there's anything too much of an immediate threat around you, so you can just sort of dash down with the rest of the party. Edwin, you've seen the sort of group gather around you, I guess, following your rousing performance.
Yeah, like I'm stood there. I'm kind of just throwing away. I'm like, I'm sure this was supposed. I read a thing. This was, and I'm like, right, I've got to go for it. And I just scream at the top of my lungs as well, like as high pitched as I can.
Let's go for it again.
Just like belt out a really high pitched note. I'm like, this has got to work, because otherwise I'm the idiot.
Roll that damage die.
Was it D6? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's another one.
Nothing seems to happen.
I feel like now the law of this world has changed, so that this doesn't do anything. Just you're convinced that it does.
Yeah, I'm like, I'm sure this was something that was supposed to happen, but clearly not. So I abandoned that thought. I'm like, oh, this isn't working. I turned to Russell, are we running? Are we running? Where are we running?
I would like to run.
I concur. Although Maxwell fell in a hole. We've got to watch out for more of them.
Oh yeah, is Maxwell still in a hole?
More of those Maxwells and more of those holes.
He's still
Yes.
one that is left knee deep in the sand. Yeah.
I walk out to it like,
catch Victor as he tried to fall in.
I
to get myself up.
I grab him by the arm. I'm like, come on, mate, come on. That's enough of that now.
You
And
can
attempt to help him out.
you can aid him.
That's just roll plus bond, isn't it?
Yeah, so basically you
Roll
roll
plus
plus the number of bonds you have with them, which is you have one with him,
Plus
right?
one, yeah. That is 10.
Nice.
He gets-
So yeah, you get to choose if he gets +1 or -2 to his sort of next action to try and get out. Presumably the +1.
Yeah, plus 1.
Nice.
Oh, I should have arcane arted to make
In
it
that case, I will. You can try and pull yourself out. I'll get you to do a defy danger using your strength, I guess, Macro, because you're just sort of powering yourself out. And it'll add the +1 automatically. Nice. Yeah. Tell us how you break free, I guess, Maxwell.
I feel like I would break out while picking Victor up at the same time, or helping him get to his feet.
Yeah, I think a
right,
13 is
right.
perfectly deserving of that. Yeah.
All up for him at
The
the same
Terminator. It's completely unstoppable.
And if I say like got Victor like, under my arm about to run away with just Victor in front of everyone else.
What a bromance.
I just look over, I'm like, well, that's bloody nice, isn't it?
Like Edward's just pulled me up, but I've grabbed Victor and ran off with Victor
Yeah. What?
towards this direction.
You just want to dash down in this sort of direction, did you?
Yeah, well, except like carry him under my arm like you would do like a pet or something.
I'm a pretty big guy. You might actually struggle a little bit.
Yeah, I wouldn't feel I'd get very far maybe. So I've also got armor on, didn't I? I'm like carrying him under my arm.
I'm gonna get you to defy danger with disadvantage, Victor. Not
Defy
Victor.
danger.
Sorry, Maxwell.
What stat?
You can. Oh, sorry. You are trying to get out of the way fast, so your dexterity.
How do you disadvantage, or you do it automatically?
Yeah, it'll do it automatically. It should do. I've set it to it for you.
Oh,
Oof.
Yeah, you can mark an XP. You don't drop Victor. You're fine. But there's another just sort of the sand just sort of falls away in front of you, and 2 fire beetles are just sort of stood ahead of you. You just sort of. And it's up to you how you pause, but you're not. You're there.
I like throw Victor behind me. So like I'm in front of him as his shield when these pop.
Oh, you're not
front.
physically throwing it. Like you're not actually tossing it, but you're just dropping him down. Yeah.
I don't know. How stupid am I?
It's up to you.
But what upset
That is only for you to decide.
I'm not very happy with this.
Annoying.
Also, if the son wants this to happen, then this is
Like,
this is how it
Yeah,
works.
place,
you're not that stupid.
place him down, but quite hard behind me. I'll
Dryden,
protect you.
you've just watched Maxwell dig himself out of the ground, and start running off with Victor sort of under his arm, and then these 2 fire beetles just pop up in front of him. What are you doing?
Yeah, okay.
Oh, it's always my favourite when Charlie puts his desk up. It's like some kind of epic drone shot as you just sort of...
Yeah.
My office.
What are you doing, Dryden?
That's actually right.
Drayden sighs and starts walking forward slowly.
You're
Yes,
just slowly
you see
walking
crush
forward.
it.
So you just sort of... You're just not really taking part in this. You're just sort of going for a walk.
Pretty much.
Okay. Pring?
I'm gonna try and keep as close to Dryden as I can, while constantly muttering that they're behind us as well.
You got any
I go,
reaction?
yeah, I got it. It's fine. It's fine.
Go on, Edward. You can have one last chance to redeem yourself with this.
It's gonna be another one. It's gonna happen.
Poetically, it really should be.
No, it's a 5.
Nice.
Suck it.
Tell us what happens as you finally hit the right note and kill off the 3 remaining Maggot Squids.
There is a very specific high-pitched note I've got to hit, and I've just not been quite there. I just turn it up a notch, and it echoes, and they just go, I just pop.
Is it like a fundamental frequency, like a singing
Yeah.
as a glass? And it
Yeah,
just-
exactly. And they just kind of pop.
You
Oh,
don't
I'm
want
like,
to go with
oh,
the brown note then? Is that a reference? No, that's fine.
No, I get it.
not good.
No, that's cool.
I just looked down at the loot. I'm like, holy shit, it worked. Let's go. Let's run.
Yeah, I'm gonna. Can I ask my god which way to go?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do a guidance. I fail. It's a 5.
Yeah, I mean, on a fail for that, you just don't get anything, right? It just doesn't cast, yeah.
Yeah,
I think
it's casting. Oh, it's casting a spell, so something bad might happen.
Yeah, I think you lose it, don't you?
Possibly.
you lose the ability to cast it. For
It doesn't say exactly what happens when you fail on the character sheets, but that might be the case. I might have
Yeah,
lost it.
you lose the ability to cast it until the next time you is it like you commune, isn't it? I think, yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. He is so sick of my shit asking questions all the time.
He's changed his number. He's done.
Yeah.
all you're getting is just a either a 404 or a be right back.
Yeah.
It's the 3 little dots of the
mother's
message
asked him.
sending, you know.
Yeah, the mother's asked him to take the bins out.
Go
I
touch
can't
what it is.
pause, Mom. It's online.
Dryden, I guess you are still slowly pacing forward. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I would try to Dryden and ask him where to go because I'm lost now. Like my god has left me. And he looks like he doesn't care. So he seems like he knows what he's doing.
Do you say that out loud?
Which part?
About him not telling us where to go.
No, I just kind of go like, I do some incantation or what have you to talk to him, and I get no answer, and I kind of like shake myself, whatever, to like try to hold my rosary bead or whatever, like my chest piece, so like to try to get an answer, and I can't get it, and then I go, Dryden, where are we going?
You and Max were the ones to run off, so I mean,
Mr. Nonchalant.
I'm just gonna have a simple walk around.
You're the fire expert, right? These are fire beetles.
Fire beetles, yeah, they can just do fire.
That's why I turned to you. Where are we going?
I mean, we should probably just walk away and not fight them because, like you say, that fire is very dangerous.
They're pretty slow.
Yeah.
Let's go this way. Let's head off down this way
Yeah,
instead.
we'll go that way. Just walk away.
Keeping an eye on the fire beetle that is behind us to make sure
Yeah.
it's not like catching up. Because if it does, I'll probably try and swing at it with my short sword or something. But...
Yeah, so I mean, the one that was sort of carried away, it sort of slowly makes its way sort of down towards you guys. But these fire beetles, like I say, they're not really like hunters. They don't really move, and as they move through, it's almost like it swims through the sand. It just slowly sort of slides towards you. But I mean, you could slowly pace backwards in a sort of overly sneaky Pink Panther style and still outrun it. These are very slow moving.
Perfect. That pretty much exactly describes how I'm moving. Possibly with my staff just in front of me, as far away as possible, trying to find more holes that fire beetles might live in.
Clever. Good
I'll
idea.
get you to make a defy danger as you're doing it. Using your mental fortitude, I guess, because you're being quite clever
Mental
about this.
fortitude?
So that'd be your wisdom.
Wisdom.
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, you're able to slowly just sort of check the sand, and you're able to sort of find your way until you're a good sort of 100 or so yards away. You've got some real sort of distance behind the centaur body where you assume the fire beetles are bunched up.
Note to self: just four maggots for me. I think was my tally using the fire beetle.
Yeah,
That's okay.
it's good thinking. Yeah, and it seems you guys have survived your first combat of this this search for the source codex. So once you guys get a safe distance away, what's the reactions?
I start humming a song
What
that I have nicely titled
On
Fire
the floor.
Beetle.
Who brings a party together of such ineptitude? Edwin.
This guy.
Oh. See the mayor, surely.
Yes, yes, of course.
Can I cast Cure Light Wounds on Max? Well, kind of want to do it on everyone, to be honest. Other than Edwin, obviously. Somehow he managed to get out of any of the danger as well. Which
As Victor does it to me, can I put my hands and do it to him?
Oh, you can cast it, can you?
Like in a Broly romance, like lay on hands.
You heal each other. Yeah, I like it.
I didn't wish you could do that, so 7 9. Okay, so mine casts as on a 9.
Cool. Yeah, so you can heal Maxwell.
Obviously there's some bad things there, so I don't know quite, like, it's a part in your partial, so
Yeah, so you've
touch him in a different way.
2.
so yeah, you get to choose, Victor.
Yeah.
You can draw some unwelcome attention to yourself, take -1 ongoing to cast spells, or forget that spell for the time being.
Is the hug just a little too long?
I think for favor reasons, even though it's probably the worst one, I lose the spell.
Okay.
Like, he's really annoyed. He's fucking him. He's just sick of it. So
That's cool. Let me just remind myself how the lay on hands works in this for the Paladin. So what did you get? You got 7. You got 6, didn't you? Oh yeah, so it's just a fail. Yeah. Yeah. You get to mark an XP, but you. Yeah, it was an awkward hug. Didn't seem to achieve much.
I give a hug instead. Normally it heals him when I do it for him, but this time I'm just giving him a hug.
it might be because I feel slightly differently about you now.
It really feels like someone's not watching. It's almost as if no one had a plan.
She's got a plan.
I might mention to Maxwell.
I've got a plan. It's fine.
He was just testing us. He was playing a game of hide and seek.
Well, I mean, here's a plan. We're not necessarily the main characters in this game. We are but pawns.
Maybe the Fire Beetles are the main character
You're a
of this
butt
part.
porn.
Oh,
I'm sorry, I have
Edwin-
to. It's part
Edwin-
of my character.
Edwin after dark.
I have to.
Right. Cool. What we'll do, I think, because it's our first session, look at the time, we'll call it the end of the session, and we'll go through the end of session events which happen.
Mm-hmm.
So whenever we end a session, we do a few things. So the first thing we will do is we'll look through your bonds. So what you are looking for with your bonds is if you feel a bond has been resolved. So it could be that we've completely explored it. It could be that it's no longer relevant. It could be that it's changed or you fulfilled it. So basically, you look at any of your bonds, any ones you think are relevant, you announce that, and if the other player who the bond is with agrees, then we consider it completed and you gain an XP and create a new bond. So is there anyone that thinks they have fulfilled any of their bonds?
I think my one with Maxwell is close, but not yet.
Okay.
But it might go that way, and maybe next session or what have you.
I'm starting to wonder whether Maxwell is woefully misinformed, or perhaps he might be right. He seems so sure in his beliefs that I'm worried that putting my beliefs up against his is going to cause a problem.
I don't know. Edwin is kind of misguided. He was just playing some random music, just stood there.
Well, except that he did manage to kill a bunch of them.
Yeah, he did.
I don't
actually.
It's just like yeah.
my bond with Maxwell, I feel like obviously I sang stories about Maxwell like long before I met them about how fantastic or how great of a warrior they were or whatever. And I feel like that's just been shattered by the last 5 days of travel of watching him just stumble into things. I'm not sure whether that counts as bond resolved because it
Weren't
no
your
longer
stories about me
applies.
like
But
how stupid
It does. That's resolved, right? Like
Yeah,
if the role no
so-
longer applies, that's resolved.
So yeah, you sung songs about how terrible Maxwell was, and basically what you've seen so far pretty much agrees with that, right?
well, it was songs about how he's like gonna come get you and blah, 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 because he's like an enforcer of the religion and stuff like that, and like that he's actually kind of like a scary guy, and you don't want him knocking on your door. And I feel like I've learnt the exact opposite, and now no longer think that. Like,
Would you agree with that, Maxwell? That he's probably seen you in a different light.
Yeah, I probably stood in a hole, nearly fell over.
Nice.
Then when we were about to fight, I picked up Victor and ran away like a little scaredy cat.
So yeah, you can remove that bond and gain 1 XP, Edwin.
right. Removed. That's the only XP I've got.
You also gain, and so whenever you get rid of a bond, you always gain a new bond. That bond does not have to be with the same character. It could be, or
Right.
it could basically just a new bond based on what's happened this session.
I feel like I am more reluctant to trust Maxwell after seeing him run away.
Your illusion's been shattered.
Today. Yeah, I'm certainly less trusting and would probably not rely on him in a moment of peril.
That's cool. So when you create new bonds, you can word them however you wish that suits the narrative. Obviously, we know what the general gist of it is.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, we'll see how that develops in future sessions. Is there anybody else that thinks they fulfilled any bonds?
I don't think so. Not yet.
No, I am a little bit tempted to fulfil. Edwin is keeping an important secret from me, and I
am.
I have an inkling that the secret is that you're full of hot air and you've just made up everything, but I'm not convinced yet. So I'm not going to relinquish it yet.
Likewise, one of my bonds is that Pring is in constant danger, and I'll keep him safe, which I did do, but I don't think it's a resolved bond. I think it's resolved when you're not in. I don't think you're in danger anymore, and I still think you're in danger. So I think it's still.
I think the closer I stand to you lot, the more danger I'm in.
Keep my ear.
I think I know what Edwin's secret is. He created our little church order up for a laugh to make songs out of it.
It's a long prank, isn't it?
It's just
A
the
long list
biggest
of
kind of
cons.
gotcha. Just you guys have been worshipping some deity that I sat and dreamt up in like a drunken state. I was like, what if we all just didn't have a choice in what we were doing, you know?
Oh no, that part of it's me. That's just
I was gonna say that's why it can't be that because you've
Yeah.
literally done exactly that.
Yeah.
Like,
So the next thing we do is we look at you each look at your alignment and see if you basically met that alignment at some point during the session.
does
See,
saving
I-
us from Maggot Squids.
I would possibly argue against your no Pring.
Yeah.
I think using magic to carry a fire-breathing beetle that was
Well,
I think that would cause terror and fear.
What caused terror and fear in the
The maggot squids it burned to death.
Maggot squids, yeah. I'm not sure that it inspired fear, but yeah, okay, I'll take that.
I think that is suitable.
Cool.
So I would sort of a maybe, but it's a bit difficult because the thing is when you believe that you have no free will, that everything you do is following like your church. However, I did endanger myself quite a lot.
I think I'd ask the rest of the table if they agree. I guess the best way to do
It's a bit awkward. Yeah.
Do we feel like Victor endangered himself whilst following the precepts of his god?
Oh, totally.
Yeah, I think so.
He is constantly other than he's having a crisis of faith, but apart from that, he is closing his eyes and walking around into danger without paying any attention. He's not using his brain in any way, so yeah.
He's corrupted poor innocent Maxwell.
I think so.
I think that's what happened.
Or I think he might have revealed Maxwell.
Yeah, I think so. He's very scared about it. Cool. So I get XP for that, right?
Yeah. I wouldn't say Maxwell you've done yours.
Oh no,
Um,
I was all talking, no action.
Dryden, what is yours? Spread a dangerous new idea.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say you fulfilled that unless you disagree.
No.
You have to try and spread a new idea next session.
Right.
You have to make one up.
So then, as finally, as a group, we ask 3 questions. For each yes, you get an XP. Also, it is worth noting, anytime somebody does fulfill their alignment, they can potentially change alignment if they wish to, if they feel that the event somehow would make them. It's probably a bit early for that, but that's something to bear in mind.
Did I get my alignment thing?
Oh, remind me what yours is, because it's not on your character sheet.
Performing my art to aid somebody else. I
Oh,
played
yeah.
a very loud
Yeah,
song and blew up
eventually.
a load of
It
squids.
took your time, but yeah, I think that's a definite.
Yeah? I wasn't sure if that
100%. Yeah.
kind of aiding by not having them die.
No, because you could have done something really boring, like just attacked them with your sword or whatever. I'm sure you have a weapon or something. Do you?
I do have weapons, yeah.
Yeah, you could just
Have it.
but you didn't. Instead, you decided to blow them up by finding their fundamental frequency and making
my
them
voice,
resonate.
Which, yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause why not?
Cool. So, did we learn something new and notable about the world? I would argue that we've learned
World
about the
isn't
entire
real.
world, that the world exists. So I think everyone gets an XP because
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
you've learned about
I mean,
the
I'm-
setting in general.
How do you add an XP? Oh, do you press the add button?
Press the plus.
Yes.
Plus button. Yeah.
Should give you 1 XP. Something like it.
There we go, did it.
Did we overcome a notable monster or enemy?
No, run away.
No, we can't claim the fire.
Is it a Maggot Squids notable, really?
I don't think so.
I'd be willing to listen to anyone who wants to argue for yes, but my inclination is it's a no.
That's like
Yeah.
going.
And-
That's like going in D&D. We killed a bunch of rats.
To be
Yeah.
fair,
This was the big bad.
did we even overcome them? My
No.
recollection is that we ran away.
We killed all the Maggot Squids.
Well, you did actually.
I did.
Firebugs did, Jen. Oh no, you did. Yeah,
I killed
you
a bunch of
exploded
maggots,
them. You exploded
but-
them. Yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
But I
No,
don't think
I-
they're notable.
Yeah.
And did we loot a memorable treasure?
No.
No.
We're a bit pathetic. That's not party. We're a bit bad.
So I don't think anyone's quite. Victor's the closest to leveling up, but nobody's quite there. So leveling up requires 7 XP plus your level. So you guys need 8 XP to level up at the moment. I believe Victor's on 5.
I'm only just over halfway, to be honest. It's not even that
I'm not even that.
far.
Not me. 2.
I literally think I rolled a spout law, and that was it.
Yeah, you
for
spouted
actual
law.
rolls.
Yeah, but surely you failed to play your instrument twice, right?
Yeah, you.
Yeah, but that was because that was just rolling damage. I've just only dealt 1 damage. Based on
They
it
were
up.
just straight up dealing damage. Yeah, it wasn't actually
Yeah,
a kind of
okay.
move. Yeah.
So like, I actually think the only. No, I did a couple of others, didn't I? I did a couple of spout laws.
You did
but
spout laws.
I didn't fail any of them. So
Try
yeah.
harder.
yeah, I need to be worse. Clearly.
Mhm.
Cool. We will pick you up in the desert next session, I guess.
Mm.
Awesome.
The next journey, Victor will teach Maxwell that cannibalism is wrong.
Bye.
Or
Off in a rush.
we'll all
Cormac.
have a lovely meat meal.
Huh?
Off in a rush, are you?
No, I just. Yeah.
Got other things to do. That's fine, mate. See you later.
See ya.
Bye, boy.
Yeah.
Bye.
Feels like Victor taught him that the sun leaves stuff for him, and that's why he thought he left him food.
How did you feel second time playing, Charlie? Out of interest.
That went really well
Cool.
compared to the first time, and yeah, in general, I think that went really well. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I felt exactly the same. Yeah,
I
I think everyone knowing the way it works a little bit better, and also just like building it up, definitely helped. Yeah.
I think building up is actually really fundamental. So what I've noticed watching some of like the kind of what's his name, Adam, I can't remember his last name,
And
Coble,
Coble.
yeah, like doing like the DM and stuff, is that like those are all like one shots that take like 3 to 4 hours, and the first hour and a half is just character creation and world
Literally
creation.
character creation and world building.
And
is an hour at
and
least, yeah.
you know, I I spent some time like I decided on a character yesterday, I think, and I spent some time thinking just thinking about what kind of god I want to I spent maybe a few hours over the course of the last couple of days, kind of crystallizing this concept. So I came to the idea with a religion that was a bit more fleshed out than maybe just if it was off the cuff today. But even still, it was pretty fluid. And so but by doing the character creation stuff, I was chomping at the bit to have interactions with other characters from the second straight off. And when we played it with the pre-gen characters, that didn't really happen because of the characters are pre-gen, and I didn't really get who I was. So yeah, I thought I was really, really well. Yeah, I thought it was really good.
Yeah, no, I thought it went pretty well. I thought it was fun.
I always thought it felt a little bit, quite a lot more like WWWRPG in that respect.
Yeah.
WWRPGs, it's difficult because I know wrestling, and so it's easier for me to role play wrestling. If you don't know what wrestling is, it's really hard to role play wrestling. Whereas it's much easier to role play this because everyone's seen Lord of the Rings.
I found this easier than the WWW because I don't really know wrestling, and also in that because it's, at least in my head, and maybe that's just not really getting the wrestling thing despite being told it numerous times, because it's two of you in the ring, that feels like a competition.
Whereas it's not.
It's weird that it's not an adversarial game. It does feel like it just because of the nature of you're going one-on-one against someone.
You kind of feel that's how it ought to be.
I definitely think not that I didn't enjoy it both times, but I suspect it's a game that probably really sings if you're playing with a group of wrestling fans.
I think so.
Yeah,
because actually
you play into the in jokes and stuff as well. Then I suspect.
It's interesting because you say it feels like it should be adversarial or combative because it's even a ring, but it's not, and that's actually exactly what wrestling is, right? A wrestling is a simulated fight, and so to a viewer it feels competitive, but actually it's not, right? It's collaborative. It's a collaborative story telling in that one being physical rather than by talking, but it actually follows almost exactly what wrestling is. And actually, interestingly, as a wrestling fan, I suppose it allows you to get some experience of what it's like being a wrestler without having the physical capabilities of doing it, because it's quite hard to do. But if you're not a wrestling fan, that feels weird, because if you think of wrestling only as what it's superficially advertised as, which is a combative environment, it doesn't really hold together. Also, it's hard because wrestling is quite complicated.
Yeah.
And if you're trying to tell a story of how to do wrestling, what moves do you know? How do you...
that definitely falls apart.
Yeah, that is kind of I think the biggest weakness of that. Whereas this works really well because it's much more the lingua franca here. Everyone has that ability to speak the language of fantasy role playing.
Yeah, I've definitely. I've got a much bigger knowledge of fantasy and just generally examples. Lord of the Rings is all you really need.
Yeah, right, exactly. Or just literally, I think you'd be hard pressed to find somebody
everyone knows high fantasy to a level, right?
Yeah, right. You literally couldn't find someone who's grown up in Western culture and couldn't survive in this environment. And wrestling is a lot harder. It's even hard for me as someone who watches wrestling week in week out. I had to do quite a lot of research to figure out what the moves are before we even played, because it's difficult. So this is really good. I'm glad that we played it a second time, and I'm looking forward to playing next.
I'm looking forward to us continuing.
Yeah,
awesome.
And as I say, it's really good role playing. It's almost like a training game, it's a training exercise for playing D&D in some respects, which is really
I think something you guys were talking about. I think for me, as I say, I haven't played that many, very, very few narrative stuff. I will tend to fall back in the D&D stuff to relying on the tabletop, almost tabletop skirmish stuff.
Yeah.
Because I can kind of understand that, and but then it just turns into a battle. The role playing the battle bits is I've always struggled with.
I think that's one of the reasons I wanted to do Dungeon World, just because sometimes our combat in the campaign we played in 5e was quite. You can really easily fall into I'm stood next to an NPC now, so
Yeah.
each turn I just roll dice until it dies or I die. And so I kind of hope by playing this, it might just like encourage a bit more like just narrative combat as well. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it will. That's a failing of Dungeons and Dragons because
Oh
it
yeah,
tries
no,
to be, yeah, it tries to be everything to everyone, and it just means that there are some people who love that. There's some people who really just want to essentially play a tactical skirmish game. I mean, they want to play Descent, but call it D&D.
Yeah.
And that's fine. Like, but yeah. So it's difficult. It has to be that those people, and it also wants to be like the narrative role playing games for people who want to do that. Whereas this is way more focused on one particular aspect. And I think this is a really good training for us as a party.
Yeah.
Well, I will say that when we played the one shot, I think you approached the game that one shot in D&D very differently to how we played it, and I found that really refreshing when we played that one shot. So I think you'd be surprised even just playing D&D. Like I don't think you fall back on it as much as certainly in that one shot. It's only one session.
It's only you didn't really no one session to give me a chance to really fall back into the old thing.
Yeah.
But no, I mean I spent quite a lot. I mean I spent about 15 years role playing a reasonable amount, and we were trying to get more into characters and to do that, but we would tend to fall back into the skirmish. I mean the best example was saying, right, role playing, we're going to story based, describe what you want to do, the narrative stuff, the dice are just if we need to make a decision, and then we spent probably an hour and a half arguing about whether characters could cook or not. And it literally, the DM was kind of going, well, none of you can cook, you haven't got it in your character sheets, and we're going, but we're adventurers, of course that sort of thing would happen quite a lot. So
so my first kind of role playing experience was playing with some people who like we didn't really have rules. It was just like I didn't even know. Like the system was kind of made up. And I think the rules were like you had to roll under your stat for some reason to success. It was a bit of a bizarre rule. It was completely made up by whoever's running the games. Actually, Sam, Chris Langan, I'm pretty sure he was part of that, and Andy Collier and people.
Yes, yeah.
Many years ago, I played occasionally there. But then the second group I played with was when I was in the games industry, and that was completely the opposite because that one was like completely homebrewed. It was just like I want to do a thing and just figure out if you can do it or not, which is the dungeon world way of doing things. And then the second one was D&D 3.5, 4.
Oh yeah, that was 3.5 was really, that was my last one, and that was really tabletop simulator stuff.
Yeah, so but this was like, it was like zero amount of role playing. And it was just like, how do we get through this dungeon without dying?
Yeah. I mean I remember because I bought the 3.5 book, and that then stopped playing pretty much around then. And it was all about attacks of opportunity and that's like not role playing. So we moved on to other systems. Although I like rules as well. I do like rule heavy systems.
It's almost like you can never please people, right?
Yeah.
I think so. The Mark Rosewater, who's one of like the lead Magic the Gathering designers, always has like a design mantra which is restriction breeds creativity. So if you can restrict what someone can do, it makes them more ingenious. I think that's kind of true because in Dungeon World you can do whatever you like, but I suspect very few of the Dungeon worlds hold up like this. Like I created like a god which is borderline interesting for a couple of hours, but I suspect if you played in this world for like 6 months, it would be like tedious by the end of it.
Yeah.
Whereas in D&D, the Faerun world is like exists, but actually what you can then create inside of that restrictions is a much more interesting kind of narrative. I think we had some really good character arcs in our Storm King Sunder campaign by the end of it.
I'd be really interested to see how Dungeon World compares to like 5e with like new players, because like my first ever experience playing D&D was with like a really hardcore group that had played together for ages, and it was like super intimidating on tons of levels. A, because like you were the new guy, and also because like D&D is very much like there's so many rules on what you can and can't do, and it's your turn in combat and actions. Whereas like Dungeon World is like, I feel like it's a lot easier to like throw someone in and be like, you just tell us what you're doing, and then if something happens, it happens. Because that definitely that put me off playing like TTRPGs for quite a while. Because my first experience was like it's almost like it was almost like sort of, I don't know, like confidence knocking, because I didn't know what to do around people. It was like, well, I don't know what to do, so I just won't try.
Yeah.
A lot of these Adam Cole D&D things, like I've been watching, like on YouTube, what have you, they are people who at least say, I don't know if it's actually true, that they have very little role playing or no role playing experience, and it's fine because it's just like, what do you want to do, and it's much easier to think of, oh, I want to do that thing. And also, I think he described it somewhere as like, this is kind of like what you remember D&D being when you were a child, which I think is a really nice way of looking at it.
The thing that I because I heard him say the same thing, and the thing I got from that is, if I think back on the games that I played 20 years ago, the stories that I remember, you only remember the big adventure bits, the bit where someone falls onto the dragon or something like that happens. You don't remember I was rolling these dice and I had to hit armor class 3 and that sort of stuff. Yeah. And this feels like it's trying to recreate telling that story.
Yeah, I agree entirely. You might remember the things like, when you accidentally unleash a whole class of children werewolves onto a village by accident.
But
or when you
we wouldn't know what you mean by that. Yeah,
like really weirdly specific example. I don't understand where that's coming from.
That could surely never happen.
That's
the savior that can cure
literally never happened, and I don't know what you're on about.
Or when you spend, two
he's gone.
Just gone.
Erratic effect.
Or when you spend, 2 sessions speaking only in rhyme and couplets.
Oh, I was really proud of the effort put into that by everyone.
That was quite good. Yeah, that was quite impressive.
Oh, that's the best.
But
those are the cool moments that you remember. It's totally true.
Yeah.
You don't remember. Oh, I really like D&D for like the fact it's a tactical combat game where positioning is really important, and you've really got to make sure that you always min-max your characters. No one cares about that.
I mean, I remember right back when I started again, D&D like second editions when I started. But there's rules for like encumbrance, and everything in the book has a weight, and then there's a little bit in certainly the DM's guide, I think the player's book, that says you don't really need to pay any attention to this.
No,
you don't need to do it. Just just wing it. And I think sometimes people miss that.
I must admit, I like to pay attention to encumbrance, but I know myself, it's like a thing that I like to do. I wouldn't ever care about anyone else's encumbrance.
I think it's similar to like tracking ammo and stuff.
Yeah.
Or, like range weapons and stuff. It's like if someone wants to sit there and be like and play that realistically, that they're going to track how much their character's weighing and how many arrows their character has left. That's fine, because if that's what they enjoy, that's what they enjoy.
I think it's a bit of the like it's a bit like what Charlie said about like you're trying to be effing to everyone. Like there's some campaigns where like if your campaign is that like it's like a long-term dungeon crawl, you're in some massive mega dungeon, then like tracking resources and ammunition's probably quite cool. Whereas doing it in like if you want to be a high fantasy, like I'm just Legolas with a bow and arrow, like then you probably just never want to run out, right?
Yeah, I think it is about it's something you talked about with your Session Zero stuff. It's about if everyone around the table is agreed that that's what they want to do, they want to have a survivalist experience trying to get out of the dungeon with the minimum resources, then that's cool. But when you get one person who wants to do that and then another person who wants to do the high fantasy stuff, that's when it starts to get a bit tricky.
I have to disappear to pick Libby up quick. But
I drew it wrong because I used some cooking actually. Which we referred to earlier. That was a really good session. That was awesome. So
that was good. Yeah, thanks guys. I'm looking forward to next week.